Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cotton Conversation. I'm your host, Mr. Lewis, and I got some special people with me tonight. Some more Apache legends. Some of y'all might know them, some of y'all may not. But I would like to take the time and let these guys introduce themselves. And we're going to start with the first one, Mr. Starkey and Mr. T. Hayes. Welcome to the show, guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, we're good,
Doing
baby. We're
well,
blessed.
thank you, Mr. Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Oh, no. Thank you for taking the time to being here. First, let me say happy Father's Day. First and foremost, may God continue to bless y'all and have many more kids. I'm done. Y'all have them all for me. I'll just be Uncle Lou. But I would like for you guys to take your time, introduce yourselves, and tell us what sports you played in high school, your high school career. Just sum it up real quick. Starkey, we're going to go with you first, if you don't mind.
All right, so Chris Starkey, from KBL. I played football, basketball, and baseball at Mountain View High School, 92 to 95.
And Mr. Hayes.
Yeah, my name's Terrence Hayes, Mr. T. T Money, whatever you want to T Hizzle. But I played baseball, basketball, and football, three main sports at Mountain View through 97, 96, and 95.
Thank you for that, sir. The reason I asked for y'all to be to do this for me is I I see a lot of athletes be talking about the McDowell County Sports Hall of Fame and everything. And I noticed personally that there's no criteria for who gets in, who don't get in. If it is, it's not known. I also heard there were certain individuals selecting the people who get in, who don't get in. Would you guys like to be in the Hall of Fame? And what are your thoughts of the McDowell County Hall of Fame? Either one of y'all can take that question. T, you can go first.
Well, I mean, I've looked into it a little bit more further than it has been. Like my dad, he got to the Hall of Fame. It's like last month. But there's a criteria to it. You have to nominate. Somebody has to nominate you to go into the Hall of Fame. Like I can nominate Starkey. I can go down like, hey, listen, me nominate Chris Starkey to be in the Hall of Fame. Has to go through this board, da 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 da, and other people in front. But you have to be nominated. It's not like they say, okay, all right, let's look at his stats, and then we'll put you in there. Somebody has to nominate you. Period. Point blank. That's just how it is. I mean, that is a cold fact. It's not ifs, ands, or buts. Somebody has to nominate you to get into the Hall of Fame. Period. Point blank. So if you're not nominated, you're not getting in.
And after nomination, what's the criteria?
Well, after nomination, it's a board. I think it's the Lions Club. It's basically is doing it. I got a hold of like Troy Hawks. He's kind of like deals with him a little bit. I don't know the other board members, but my dad he's been doing stuff in the community for a long time. So it was kind of like he got nominated for actually taking care of like the Little League and what Goodson Supermarket has done for the community. Plus, also we talked about the baseball team a little bit, but the baseball team didn't go in. It was more just him and Goodson Supermarket going in for the community service that they did for the Hall of Fame. So it's kind of like a little mix of like I guess good things, but not like, hey, here's the 94 team and the 92 team. So it wasn't anything like that, but it definitely is. You have to be nominated. I found that out by myself because I wanted to make sure that our teams were getting in there, baseball teams. So those are things that are in motion as well. But you really kind of have to fight for it just to get in there now. Like other people are nominating other teams, like these old guys that we ain't never heard of before. It's like, what you doing getting in there? Why you in here for? It's because somebody nominated them, and that's why they kind of got in there, man. Like these people, that getting in there. I've never heard them before. I had to listen to some people, saying that basically were getting in on the last joint that I didn't even know who they were, like. But at the same time, they were happy to get in, talked a whole lot, did their thing, and they were really, really just happy to get in. But when it comes to that, we were fussing about this. How many months ago, Starkey, about the Hall of Fame thing and how crazy it was. This person was getting in. This person was getting in. You definitely, I had to nominate somebody just to get in. I did find that out.
Well, how do you feel about the guy that got nominated? Cause of the turkey call, Starkey.
Oh, you talking about Chris Walls?
Yeah, I know some
Yeah,
people's
so
upset about that. Me personally, I like to hunt and fish. I know that turkey call that is a skill. I practice it all
Yeah,
the time.
he's been
So
a
so
national
check
champion
this
for a
out,
minute.
Lou. I believe he should have been nominated. I don't know what the criteria is of who they're nominating or why they're nominating them, but I do remember back in high school, Chris Wall's been a national turkey calling champion, bro.
Yes.
So he did that three times in a row. So you know what I'm saying. I definitely feel that his worth in that Hall of Fame should be there because he was a three-time national turkey calling champion. That's not an easy thing to do when you're out there, and he's still doing it right now as a business, going out all across
Yes.
Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and calling for these people bringing in monster-sized turkeys, and they're killing records, national records, turkey size. So. I don't knock whoever they put in there. I don't know why they're putting them in there or what the criteria of who they're choosing and why they're choosing them. But
Yes.
I'm just happy to see that they're doing something positive still in the community and uplifting us and awarding us or recognizing us for things that we did while we were in McDowell County.
Oh yeah, I agree with that because there's a lot of times I know Coach Maurice used to help me out, take me home from track practice and stuff, and we used to talk about it all the time. And I used to tell him it's like I don't try to get in, don't want to get in, but I understand why it's important to some people. And me personally, I think Chris Wall should have been in there because I understand the value of a turkey call. Especially, it's a sport just like anything else. It's a sport like baseball, football, anything else. But yeah, so that's what. But I also want to know what was y'all's fondest memory from your high school sports career.
Ooh,
Either one want to take it? Go ahead.
Well, she go,
man.
saying age before beauty, man. Age before beauty.
Oh, now you want to talk about Starkey's Berry? Now you want to say something? Talk about age before
Hey, it's
beauty.
all good. Hey, Silver Fox, baby, you gotta be unique. I'm getting up there now, almost 50, right? So, hey, I'm embracing that gray, enjoying it, starting to look like my uncles and granddaddy.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
I'm just
sir.
I'm just blessed to be a little bit wiser and how that gray and silver fox in it now, baby.
Yes, sir.
But I say my fondest memory high school career probably is just being able to look at all the athletes that I played with and some of the greatest talent out there, man. We're a hidden gem down in between two mountains in a valley, man, and just being able to play some of those games down there in the valley with Marcus Clegg and David Edwards, Gerald Long, Charlie Dabney. I think my freshman year, I'm gonna give my memory of us going to the playoffs. We lost to I can't remember who we lost to, but we lost in the semis to somebody. But that
Man,
year, I
I
got to
think it was
play a
May.
little bit because they was blowing teams out so much. So me and Pepe Weaver was the two running backs that came in like fourth string. Man, we was playing Big Creek, and Scott Harmon was our quarterback. He had a bet with somebody, and we had to score so many points. And I ripped Pete Hawkins and ran it for 61 yards as a true freshman, man, at the high school. I think that's probably one of the greatest memories I could remember about playing football there at Mount View High School.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's definitely what's up. What about you, Mr. Hayes?
Um, be quite honest with you, the most intense times that I ever had was it was kind of two times, two different two different years. First one was my sophomore year. Sophomore year was kind of like intense because I was trying to make a name for myself. All this stuff that happened after Dre had passed away. It's kind of like, all right, now I got to find my niche and make him proud and make the guys around me know that I won't let them down, and that I want them to know how much I care about them. So I'm gonna play for them, and that's where that intensity came from as a sophomore. Was like Chris talks about it. We talked about on the last phone call we had that he gave me a good compliment. He was just like, man, I just know that T's always gonna be ready. T's always gonna be ready. You ain't gotta worry about T. T always gonna be ready. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? You ask him to do something, T gonna be ready. You ask him to do this, T gonna be ready because they saw something in me I didn't see. I mean, I just wanted to make sure that my brothers knew that I had their backs. You know what I'm saying? Like something came over me after I lost him. It was just like, hey, look, you can lose a brother any given second, any given minute.
Oh yeah.
So you need to make sure that you live in a moment. And I didn't realize I was living in the moment every day I woke up, but everybody around me knew I was living in the moment. That's as you 46 years old, you look back on it, it's just like wow, like man, like they saw something I didn't see. But when I was a sophomore, man, I just was trying to earn a starting position. I just remember that I picked off a pass from John Borowski in practice. It was like I guess it was a pass might have been going to like Dion or something like that, but it was like a post or something. And I come out of nowhere and just got and just took it. And I just remember Coach Gravely coming over to me and telling me like, man, like yeah, you better do your thing. You better do your thing, man. I'm like, what are you talking about? Coach Nystrom comes up to me at the end of practice, was like, look, I want to let you start. Give you your first starting position. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I was going against Fairmont. We was going all the way up against Fairmont. That was the lightning strike. Remember the lightning strike,
I
bro?
remember the Lightning game. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
That was my first start. And I remember Coach Nystrom come up to me and said, if you let anybody get behind you, I'm pulling your black ass out the game. And I'm like, and it wouldn't like no, it was just like, yo, don't you make me look bad, son. Like they tell me that you're good at what you do, but you better not mess this up. I think it was the most intense, like moment in my life because I felt like I earned my place at the table. I was like, man, I just wanted to play one position, man. That's when it started. Back then in Mountain View, you played one position. If you got on offense or defense, yo, you got to ride in the front of the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like that was an
Yeah.
honor to me. That you got to ride in the front of the bus with the big dogs. And I was playing with some big dogs at that time. Starkey, you know what I'm saying? Goodness gracious, we had Roski was still on the team. You know what I'm saying? We had, Big Daddy. We had so many. Like we had Five Drill. We had we had so much talent. Big line. I was just lucky just to be able to be 170 pounds and being able to just catch interceptions and lick somebody. That was my joint. Like, look, I want to make sure nobody gets behind me, and if you hold them up, I'm cleaning them up. And if they throw them my way, I'm taking it. And that's all I need to do. And that was my job, and I was happy with that. But I was really really stoked. My sophomore year, even with baseball. Baseball was like intense as well. Because you had Pepe on the squad. You had
Pepe was
Dion
a beast with that baseball.
Hey,
yeah.
listen, D man too, bruh.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah,
of
I was
them
going through
guys.
it.
Yeah.
I'm going through all the seniors. That D man, well, we had so many seniors. We had Brocky that was there still too. We had Scott Nystrom. We
Tim
had
Dalton.
Yeah.
oh my God,
That's my
Timmy
dog, Tim.
Dalton, Tim Dalton. It
Yeah,
was
Kirk McMillan.
Kevin was on there. Jimmy Redman. We had some young cats on there. Who else? We
Had a
had
nice team too.
how many? Oh yeah, we had what was old boy's name? Garnet. Garnet was on the squad. Uh, I mean, we had a lot. That was the year we had people from Elkhorn, Gary, and Welch,
Yeah, because
and Kimball.
people from up the road, they didn't put us on the baseball team at first. Mr. Shaffin and them, they didn't put people from up the road because we had to prove ourselves. I will admit, Gary and Welch, y'all had the baseball scene locked. If it was come to baseball, it was Gary and Welch. I heard about the
It was
little
all
league
Gary
teams.
first.
Yeah, Gary first,
Gary
Pepe and
first.
Dion and them, hey, they had it locked. I do have a question though. Um, tell me a story when you overcame a significant problem on the field where they banded y'all together coming from so many different places. Like, I mean, we all the patch. We all knew each other before high school. We all hung out with each other. You know what I'm saying? But as you both know, sports bring you closer. You go through something. It's just like Stark and I know we have a special bond because he's in the army. I'm in the military. I'm in the Navy. You know, we understand how that go. You know, y'all understand how the
Hey,
sports
hey,
go.
but check this out, Lou. We was kicking it when we was 7, 8
Yeah,
up
we
in
was.
Keystone Bottom, bro.
We
But
was.
our moms was kicking it then, and we was running around playing me, you, and Lily, bro. Like
Yep.
from a young age.
A lot of people don't know that, Stark. A lot of people just think I'm just floating around, but I have a special. We have a special connection. I just don't brag about
That's
it.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So, but how did y'all overcome them significant challenges on the field, on and off the field, on and off the court? Yeah.
Well, I think that I think we didn't have an issue. I think once we got to the high school, we was for one mission, and we was trying to win championships. Man, we hadn't won any at that high school. We
Mm-hmm.
made it to the level a couple times, baseball
Mm-hmm.
and football, but we never won it. I never think that it was specifically from the area that you were from.
Right.
I think everybody bonded and gelled, and then once that season was over, you made a connection with certain people, and y'all all just hung out together all the time because you played the net sport together too. So
Yeah.
I
Sports
don't
did
think it
bring
was
together.
ever a competition between those districts. I think once we got to Mount View, it became one bond. But when we was in those middle schools, it was I think it was a little bit tougher then.
Yeah. What about you, T?
I mean, like you said, like I already won me a couple of championships before I got to Mountain View. Like I'd already been. We had missions where we basically, we knew how to win championships. We'd write down a plan before we started. Like I was already built on that brand. So, like you had Welch and Elkhorn, and had Gary, but nobody had ever had won a chip yet. We won two chips before we got there. We planned on winning three when we come up. With Starkey and all those guys, and we were so close. Like I mean, my sophomore year, I mean, we were supposed to win in my sophomore year, I believe. My junior year, we could have did it. My senior year, we got there too, and we
Didn't you
lost.
play in the Little League World Series?
Nah, no, we came close, man. We're like a game two away from getting there, but
Oh, okay.
like we always play in the international. We always won the state, and we play in international, beat state teams, and we'll come real close. But those are
Didn't David and Chili and those team go that one year though?
Yeah,
what's that?
one of them teams from Welch went.
I think it was the year they had Tit and Dave and Chili, right?
They didn't go to the World Series. I'm
Oh,
moving my camera.
oh, they didn't go.
They didn't go to the Series.
So I
Hey, so let me hit something real quick,
go ahead.
Lou and T. So you said adversity at the high school level. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna tell you a story, man. And I ain't think Coach Shaffron was real. I thought,
Oh, he real.
cause who we were, we was gonna be able to do what we wanted to do. But I love Coach Shaffron, man. That dude, he taught us some discipline and kept us in line as young men too. But one day after school we decided we was about to go off the hill to get some KFC because we was hungry before the game. Me, Peppy, Dion, and D-Man. We goes off the hill, we get some food. We get back to the high school like 10 minutes late. We get to the field, he set us in the opposite dugout while everybody else warmed up.
Oh, damn.
Bruh, we sat on the bench all the way to the seventh inning, and we was down by like 2 points. He put Dion and Pappy in, and me and D-Man still sitting over there spitting sunflower seeds the rest of the game.
He
So
wanted to
that,
win
that
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 game.
right there, man. After that, I was like, yeah, Coach Shaffron ain't no punk. I ain't messing with him no more.
Nah, he caught me cheating on the test one time. He just looked at me. He said, "Well, you know what this means." I said, "You gonna give me a zero?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I'll see you next time." That was it.
Oh wow.
I didn't care. But Mr. Shaffron, like you said, he was always real. He was always
Yep.
real. Starkey, what's the most exciting game in the Mountain View that you ever played in? Basketball,
I think,
football, whatever.
man, I got a couple of those. So football, my last high school game of my career, we played Magnolia down in the valley on a Saturday. We came out in
Oh
the yellow
yeah.
jacket colors, all gold, baby. I was stinging them. I didn't score, but I got like three knockout shots, hitting them Caesar brothers across the middle of the field. Put one of them out the game. Caught a pick, but I didn't catch a touchdown. So I say that was probably the best high school game that I played in because we played the best I feel that we played all around my senior year that game. And we blew those cats out. They was like number two or number three in the state and like double A. So that's football. Basketball, we played Woodrow one year. We had them cats on the ropes. We was up by I think it was like 16 going in at half in the sectional tournament and Coach Barksdale chased the referees in our locker room, bro. And when they came back out, they blew us out the water by 20. But that game, we should have beat Woodrow Wilson in the castle, bro. And they won the state championship that year. Baseball, we played Jefferson County on a Saturday, doubleheader up on the mountain, and we was number two in the state. They was number three, and we put business to them both games and waxed them up. So that was probably some of the games that I could remember that was some
Was
good
that their senior
outcomes,
year?
and
Was
I
that their
had
senior
a
year?
say
Was
again.
that their senior year, Jefferson, or what year was that?
That was my senior year, bro. Jimmy was catching. I threw that dude out from right field on a tag from third. In that first game, they had Titus. They had this dude, Travis Titus. I remember him because he played football also. I played with him in the North South football game, but he was like their big star. That was yeah, that was my senior year. We played them.
Okay, yeah, I was on the squad then too. I'm trying to figure out if I pitched in that game or not.
T, how did you playing as a student athlete prepared you for future endeavors?
Oh man, like I said before, man, like it was all the stuff that happened to me when I was young, man. Like, I was prepared for anything after that, bro. Like I mean, that's all I had. You know what I mean? Like you had to kind of just like dive into that. You know, after all that stuff that happened to me, I had to just dive into sports, man. I come through with my headsets on. I wouldn't even talk to nobody in school, man. I just didn't want to deal with the bullshit, you know. Like just get through a class and stay out of trouble. You know, get my mind right, get to practice, and make sure I help my brothers try to win a game. You know, what I mean, it was simple, stupid for me. You know, it wasn't complicated. My life couldn't be complicated anymore. It had to be
Mm-hmm.
simple, stupid for me. That's what made my life a whole lot easier. And it let me play the game faster because I didn't even think. I just reacted. So it was just basically instinct, man. And those guys, man, they always tell me like, yo, T, like even Chris, like, yo, T, you need to do that. Like nobody was ever, if I ever fucked up, they would tell me. They know what hurt my feelings. I'm like, man, yo, you can't do it this way, bro. And I'm like, I'll listen. They knew that I wasn't. I didn't think that I was better than they were. I was just really trying to be attentive and listen. And when you a captain like Chris, and other guys were like Fadril or Broski or whatever, they always knew that I was listening. I was always trying to pay attention, try to get better. I was never trying to take over. I just wanted to be a part of the team. And that's
Okay.
somebody I think that you
You,
want to
you know
keep.
something though, T. You know something, T. Not to interrupt you though, bro. Like back then, we had teachers that cared though, man. Mrs. Smith,
Yeah.
Mr. Snyder,
Yeah.
uh, uh, all those teachers in that hallway, man. Miss Stigler,
Reverend Spencer.
uh, Reverend
Yeah,
Spencer, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Love as our
Yeah.
principal, right?
Yeah.
Like we had people that cared about us, and if they saw us messing up, they would be on us all the time. And then once they're on us, it's getting back home to your parents,
Oh
and
yeah.
your parents and your
yeah.
grandparents gonna be on you, right? So we didn't have no choice not to get our grades. And then I think we were different student athletes then because we all focused on our grades. And like T said, if one person messed up, it hurt the team. So we called everybody out on it. And I've been called out on it too because I was doing some crazy stuff. Man, sure. It wasn't nothing with no school, but look, I've been called out a few times
Hey, that's why I
by
say
some people.
That's why I say what's off limit. Tell me what's off limit because we have some other stories.
We gonna stay off of those
We have some other
things.
stories. Hey, but
Yeah, I got a different kind of career right now, man. So I don't want to go in depth with all of those things,
yeah,
man. You
them
know,
other
I was a
stories.
young man. I partaked in some
Them
of
other
those
stories.
things.
Them other stories. I can't confirm
Yeah.
nor deny, but I will ask you if you could go back. If both of y'all, this for both of y'all. It's a two-part questions. If you could go back to high school, what is one thing that you would tell yourself about sports, and what would be one thing would you tell yourself about life?
Huh.
Either one of y'all want to go first?
Yeah, I'll
I'll
go
go
ahead and
first.
start.
But the one thing that I wish that I could tell myself is, you had the talent to do anything you wanted to do, and you still do. But man, I wish you would have lifted the weights. But we didn't have a a weight program that could transfer you back and forth. Like if we would have had a weight program that the kids could actually go to every day, like our talent was unmatched in the state. Like we had more talent than anybody in the state. We just didn't have the facilities to do the things that other people did in the state. We didn't organize things too well, especially when it came to like lifting the weights. We had enough money back then where we could have transferred all the kids back and forth to make sure that they did lift weights. Why didn't we do it? Like
Mm-hmm.
that didn't make any sense. You know, we could have made sure that it wouldn't have been nothing to pay a bus driver some extra money to take these kids back and forth, home every day. Like some kind of kitty. Somebody would have had some kind of structure. Like I wish that they'd have had that type of structure to make sure that we could do what we needed to do. But yeah, I really wish that I lifted weights because we all had the talent. We lift weights every once in a while. We ain't take it serious though, because we was naturally talented.
Yeah. What about you, Starkey? What would you say to
So
your
so
former
for
self?
myself, repeat that question for me, Lou, one more time, so I
If you
can make
can,
sure I hit it.
all right. If you can go back in high school, and what would be one thing that you would tell your former self as an athlete, and as your former self as about sports, and as an athlete and a student about life? What would you tell
Yeah,
yourself?
so I think I would have took it a little bit more serious, man. I think we just played sports because that's what we did down in the county, man. We didn't have a lot of stuff growing up. Like you said, hunting, fishing, and sports was what it was about. I didn't consider myself as a big time athlete, right? I played all the sports because I liked them. I was an average dude. I wasn't crazy fast on with T on the weights, but I wish I would have took it a little more serious and took those cheat codes that we had. Like we had Tracy Gravely to come in there every summer, man, and work with the DBs. He played for the Giants, Super Bowl
Yeah.
champion, and then he played in Canada, and he was the defensive MVP 8 years, man. So I wish I would have took advantage of some of those things and learned a little bit more about the game. Took lifting a little bit more serious. Took care of my body. Recovered, ate right, and kept some of those bad toxins out of my body too, right? So I think that I would have took those things a little bit more serious, and that would have probably excelled me more than the level I got to.
No, I agree. I agree with that. Talking to y'all talk about Trace. I always talk about Maurice because if I'd have took
Yes,
track a little more serious, he told me said you run you got natural speed. You run naturally. You got the form, but you don't love it the way you need to love it. Is what he told me. And I
Hmm.
wish I would have, like you said, did them extra squats or did them extra leg lifts he had me, or run that hill extra time like he had me doing. It's like because when I ran track with me, Gerald Long, Rod Neal, all of us, we won the
you
state, and it
had
was
Mo Lipskin was fast too out there with y'all.
yeah, we won the state. It was so easy. It was like we looking for some more competition, and he was like, "This is what you face in track. It's different than all the other sports." I'm like, "Yeah, but I wish I'd have took it serious." Is basically what I'm saying. I get exactly what you're saying. So everybody got a pre-game routine. T, what was your what was one thing during your pre-game routine that you got to do, you had to do, or you don't seem right? Because I know all athletes are superstitious.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the craziest thing ever. It's kind of low. I always had to use the bathroom. Listen, look,
You sound like my
I got
son.
so yo, I got so nervous like before I did
The
anything.
nerves was getting to her.
No, like because I felt like my body was like, look, whatever you about to do, you got to give it 100%, son. So look, you can't have no buffoonery in you. All right, get it all out of you, man. It's whatever it is. Just go to the bathroom, get it on out. Just let it go. And, you know what I'm saying, and do your thing. But it was a ritual for me, man. Like I always got nervous before games because my body didn't want me to hold on to any like extra, food or anything like that, so I could just kind of like run and do what I needed to do. But yeah, I always had a ritual, man. I always had to use that restroom, bro. Always. It was never I played in any game, baseball, basketball, football, anything that I didn't use that restroom, bro. I had to use it.
What
I had
about
to use it,
what
bro.
about you, Starky?
Yeah, so for me, I always try to sleep, man. I would try to get me a little pregame nap, get myself mentally focused. I always had that Walkman on my head, listening to them headphones, listening to some Red Man or somebody, right? We would also take us a little ride, hit some clouds, you know what I'm saying? Had the clouds blowing everywhere. But that's what we did before every game. We knew we was gonna go out there and perform. Uh, but I like to get me a nap in, man.
Yeah, get that
I would
nap.
always get me a little nap and kind of meditate a little bit with the music
Yeah.
and mellow me out.
What kept you guys motivated during times or struggle during times of poor performance?
Yeah.
Everybody
I
ain't
think
great
for
all the
me,
time.
I don't believe in. I never believed in a poor performance. I believed in a poor effort. Like performance and effort are two different things. Like if you gave it your all and then it didn't work out, you could never be mad at yourself. But at the same time, like if you struggled, it wasn't because say you had a poor performance, it's because you just didn't have a good game that game. I never looked at it like that. I always gave if I gave it my all and I look back on the game and I'm like, man, could I have done this better? Could I have done that better? Yeah, I could have, but did I give it my all? That's how I graded myself. Like, did I give my brothers everything? And most of the time I did, but I made mistakes. But as far as effort, no. I always gave
Effort is
150%.
always there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Just
about you,
sometimes
Starky?
yeah. So I'm the same, man. I feel like every time we touched the court, we never gave up. I feel like looking back now as a grown man, it was times where I look at some situations where we were out coached or out fundamental. We had the best athletes in the whole state. They was always scared to play us, but we got out coached and got out fundamental, man. And that would get frustrating at some points when we knew we had the best players on the field and we wasn't winning games, but we never quit playing. We always went out there and played our hardest every game. And I think just looking back, I wish that we had some of those better coaches that taught us some better fundamentals in the aspects of the game to get us better prepared for some of those situations.
Yeah, yeah. I will say this is when I used to come around and watch some of your guys practice football, I didn't want to take them hits. I'm not a football guy. I don't want to be hit. You hit me in the head. You Starky already know. You hit me in the head, I'm gonna fight. Plain and simple.
Yeah, throwing hands.
Yeah, I'm throwing. That's why I didn't play sports because I don't like to be hit. Plain and simple. So I'm proud of y'all for what y'all done and everything. Um, what are some of y'all's hobbies other than baseball, football, basketball? I mean, what are you doing now with your lives? You got kids, you got daughters, you got son, daughters, and everything. Are they the same athlete as you? Have they taken to it, or are you coaching anywhere now? What are you guys doing to keep yourself relevant in the sports world?
So first, Lou, I want to thank you for appreciating us, man. Appreciating you for
No problem.
bringing us on this show and being able to talk about it, right?
Hmm.
Uh, for myself, I retired in 2017 from the Army, right? Did a few deployments and many years there. Once I got out, I took time, started coaching youth sports. So I coached youth sports for 5 years. My son was playing some flag football then and some basketball. Uh, After that, a lot of the high school coaches here locally started to hear about me and ask where did I want to coach next. So I got opportunity to coach at high school here in Georgia, 6A football, man. Biggest classification down here in Georgia. We got the state champion in our region right now. We got the number one linebacker in the country in our region right now.
Oh, that's what's up.
So, yeah, being able to coach high school football. I'm still coaching DBs. They moved me down the corner though, even though I was a safety guy, but I still know all the fundamental stuff. I go to camps and continue to sponge up newer material to get my corners ready to play. So that's what I'm doing now, Lou. I coach high
Okay.
school football. I still coach youth because my son's only 12. He's 6'1", 183 pounds. He's going to be way better than I was in any sport that I played. Like he's already that dominant presence at 12 years old. And then he has, myself on his back. Plus we have two collegiate coaches that just came in and took over the reins of our head coach and defensive coordinator at our high school. So he gets the opportunity to be out there around them and ask questions. And something else, man, I want to talk about this. When we was growing up, we didn't have the opportunity to go to a lot of football camps. It was West Virginia, Concord was the only camps that you could go to. Now it's so many camps out there that you can rock with. They got Next Gen, Prep Red Zones, all kind of different camps to bring your athletes in and prepare them and teach them those fundamentals to get them ready for that next level, Lou.
Yeah.
So I think those things are great opportunities for any uh, young man and woman out there because they got flag football here too.
Yeah.
And man, these young girls are getting scholarships for flag football.
Yes.
They're getting scholarships
Yes.
for esports.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
it's opportunity out there everywhere now.
So I'm gonna say this: like them opportunities out there now, the internet has made the world small. And, I thank guys for like David Edwards, rest in peace, Kevin DuBois, that came back to the hood, came back to Mountain View, and gave a little something, gave what they could. You know what I'm saying? That they might have faced certain challenges, and you know me, I talk about them challenges later, but
Hey, so hold on, Lou. I coached 2 years there too, bruh.
I didn't know
Like,
that, man. Congratulations, man.
listen, I coached 2 years with Coach Gravely, man, and it was a challenge for real because I was a young man still, right?
Uh huh.
And they felt like you didn't know anything about the game because you was just fresh in the game. But I was coming from Marshall, right? So I learned a little bit more stuff that they didn't know how to coach those young guys on or be able to relate to them.
Hold on, time. After me, you and Gerald was at Marshall, you went back home and coached a couple years then?
Yes,
I didn't know that, man. I didn't. Only person I knew that
yes,
coached there was DeVoris and David Edwards. That's good on you,
yes.
man. That's good on because
I,
you
I
brought a lot of
coached two
knowledge back.
years there with Coach Gravely, man, and it was a great opportunity. I had Michael Helms, uh, William Jackson, Joe Thomas, Brandon Thomas, my younger cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
I coached Tutu, Greg. Who else was on that? I can't remember the one big kid, Cedric Grisby.
Yeah.
Man, there was a lot of good talent out there then, and like five of those guys went to college, man, and they all graduated and got degrees. Greg graduated and then went to the army. So like
You know what was up
that
after
was crazy.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. What about you, T? You ever go back down there sometime?
Oh, bro, I've been dealing with the community for 25 years. I ain't never left.
Oh, okay.
I ain't never
Okay.
left. I ain't never left, bro. I've been going back, talking to the kids, donating, getting things together. Starkey was in the little, 97, class reunion where we gave all our money to the school. Like
Man,
I was
that
stuck
was
in there.
dope too. We had a blast with that one, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Big
was
yeah,
old
yeah,
cookout, everything.
yeah. We took all the money. I decided to have a plan. Got a board together. Decided to take all the money that we raised. We had a game of school time, and we just gave it to the school.
I
I
ain't,
gave it
ain't,
to the school.
ain't nothing
Uh,
wrong with that.
Nah, who was down there? What was the dude's name? Anthony Bourdain. He was down there for it.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
doing this show
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that time.
yeah,
I met him
yeah. He had,
right after he did that show.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he came down there for that. That was pretty special. I mean, I organized a lot of things that I didn't that You know, behind closed doors, I don't talk about it all the time, but I donate to Mountain View almost like anytime I can. You know, and I make sure I take care of the kids, go down there and talk to them. You know, got up with Doobie, and we got Darius Stills to come down. I talked to him. I had a hook up with Darius, and we talked, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get hand this ball out to you, bro, because I want you to be straight, man. Like one thing that Kevin always wanted to do, man, is he always wanted to help that community out, man. People was always trying to stop him, and I didn't understand why. I'm like, I'm just handing him off all these assists, and every time I go down there, there's always a problem. Like they didn't want him to help. I'm like, why? This kid loves these kids. You know, like let him, get in here and get good with these kids. But you got these certain people that just like they smile at you in your face, and then they talk shit behind you. You know, when you turn around, and I don't understand our community why we do that to one another. You know, like we're supposed to be helping
Hey,
each other
T,
out.
But you're supposed to be so loved in that county, T.
yeah,
What's
but
that?
y'all don't want to get me started on that because, like he just said, you supposed to be so love on that county. I blame us, and here's why I blame us: because when you know certain things are stopping you, we don't speak up, we don't say nothing, we make it harder for the people that comes behind us. We think we helping the people that come behind us because we donated a little money, a little time, and none of this. If the same people that stopped us is in the same thing that stopped us is still there doing it for the people behind us. We didn't do anything. We have to speak up.
So yeah, I guess you didn't hear about the funeral, huh?
No, I did not.
Oh, so yeah, we'll go down to the funeral, bro. Like we'll go down to the funeral. I'm like, you know, you tell a lot of people don't understand this, but I sit here and I watch the funeral, and we have to go to Du Bois's funeral, whatever. Hey man, all he try to do is help. Man, you put somebody on the ground, you're like, nah, like somebody gonna speak up, somebody gonna say that this man did this. I'm waiting.
I think T froze.
Yeah, he did. Froze out.
Yeah, I think he
But
froze.
I'm with you, Lou. I think a lot of the reason a lot of us don't speak up, man, because we were taught by our elders to stay out of that business, right? But when we became grown and was able to voice our opinion, some of us didn't voice our opinion, but it is some that still beat it up. But I think it's a wasted cause, just like with what was the coach that was just there, Will King, right?
Yeah,
Will
King.
King was a star at Marshall, bro. He was a
He
baller,
yeah, he was a
and
star at
and came
Charleston.
in that, yeah, at Capital, and came in there and was trying to change the program around. Larry Thompson. It's been coaches that come in there and try to give they all, but I don't know why these coaches are, getting pushed out the door or what's happening. But like I don't get to go home as much now, Lou. I keep up with most of the stuff, like you said. Blessed to have some social media and see family and friends on there and everybody doing well and keeping up with them, right? But when I do go home, it's the same shape. Everybody's still on the same thing. It ain't changed in 30 years, bro.
But for me, Chris, it's because won't nobody speak up. I mean, you and I have talked about this for years. And like nobody speak up. I even reached out to other former athletes to come on the show to do this, to do an interview with me. Some say they busy. Some say they will do it. Come time to do it, they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take us, athletes and non-athletes, to change the culture of Mountain View. I just went to my nephew's graduation, Lily's son's graduation.
Yeah.
It was 60 kids in the school, and I'm thinking, well, how is Mountain View going to maintain any sports team with 60 high school graduations? You know what I'm saying? 60
Yeah, so
graduates.
true. So
Yo, I'm
true.
back.
And
We
then,
got you.
man, like here you go. I watch, and a lot of our athletes are going to other schools for the better opportunities, right? They're getting scholarships from these other schools, Bluefield, Graham. They're moving to the Carolinas and doing well, Blacksburg, Virginia, right? For better opportunities because I think after the two floods happened, it's no jobs there anymore, unless you work in the coal mines or
The hospital.
Walmart or somewhere like that, right? So a lot of these younger parents are taking their kids out of the county to other places to give them a better opportunity, and I don't knock them for that. I really appreciate it because they're getting that opportunity that they probably wouldn't get at Mount View for real.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's
we had so many that should have went to college that didn't even get a letter probably.
yes. I got recruited by Anderson and Brogdon's, Marshall, and Concord for track. That's it. And the only reason I got recruited from Concord is because Maurice knew some people. Plain and simple.
Yeah, yeah.
Plain and simple. Addison Brogdon, they wanted me because I can run in my grades. Uh, Marshall, I don't know what that was about, but that was it. You know, that's why I didn't have that many looks in track or anything like that. My son, he got recruited by William and Mary. He got recruited. He got offers from William and Mary, the Army. He had about 7 or 8 offers, all D1. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm saying this because I didn't play. My son got the genes from somewhere, maybe his mama, but but it's plenty of
But
athletes.
you played when you was younger, bro. You used to hoop. You
Yeah,
played baseball.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you was a dog on the baseball field in that
yeah.
Elkhorn Valley. Like
Nah, I ain't gonna say
you
the
did it.
baseball
You
field
just
because after Kenny Powell hit me in the back, I was done. You know that.
but though you still could play, right?
Yeah, I
You
can
just
play.
you chose a different path once you got to middle school,
Yeah,
and you know, like people like you use your knowledge base, man, to
yeah,
get you to where you were,
yeah.
and that was appreciated too, because you would keep like I thought of you, Lou, as like that peace guy. If
I
something happening,
appreciate
you
it.
could walk in between the crowd and be like, "Hey, why are we fighting for right now?
That's what I
Like
want to be.
y'all need to get on another level."
Yeah,
So like man, it was blessing to have people like you out there like that in the crowd looking out for people like us because you know we was getting in fights for no reason,
yeah.
for
I
sure.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I enjoy watching. I enjoy talking to y'all. Um I enjoyed the whole high school scene. I mean, I know y'all was maybe a year or two. Y'all was behind me. Like Marcus and Clinton, they was in front of. I'm in the middle of that little group right there. Uh, but
I think what you 94, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
'94.
you was here before me. I was 95,
Yeah,
so yeah, you was with T Hood and
yeah, T Hood and all of them. But I love to get them on here and talk to them and get their perspective and how they see things and how things going down. Because from my perspective, I think all of y'all should be in the McDowell County Hall of Fame. Uh,
I definitely think uh, a big handful of us should be because we had some serious contributions. My junior year, bro, I caught 13 interceptions. That's what put me on the map to
yeah,
start getting recruited. Right,
yeah,
I was one off from the state record. I
right,
mean, come on, man. I don't want to be there though unless they vote me there. And
right,
who's voting me? First off, because
right.
I want to know who's voting me there, and if you're voting me there for a reason that is not of my ability, I don't want to be there.
What about you? I agree with you. If I don't have the ability to be there, I shouldn't be there. What advice?
And I got the props around like with all of my partners that I played with, right? And I told you that I was an average athlete, bro. I wasn't stupid fast. I had smarts on the field. I could play baseball. I could hoop. I could do them all, but I was an average dude, bro. I wasn't like a spectacular guy to catch the ball and just break out and outrun everybody. But on the defense, bro, I'm gonna knock your head off and I'm gonna catch interceptions, bro. And I think that's what got me recruited, right? Just being smart on the field, being an IQ guy out there, learning the game, and that's like I was telling you when T broke off. I'm still soaking up knowledge right now. I'm going to camps, man. Learning the new terminology that they're talking about with DBs. It's not the same as it was in the
Nah,
'90s. So I got to teach so much more different things to these young men to get them prepared against this way faster game.
yeah. That's what my son said. The jump from high school to college, especially on the D1 level, is so much faster. And then from D1 to the pros, even semi-pros, it's just that much more faster. It's that the terminology change. If you want to play, you got to keep up. But I do want to know. So, what's one thing that you guys would a piece of advice you would give to athletes of the day? because we come from a different
Well,
time.
you now today's day, like I mean, I got a social media podcast, and I'm also dipping into a lot of other stuff, as well as in college stuff right now. I can't talk about it until like next week, but I'll be changing the things that I'll be doing, for the rest of my life up here by next week. But you got to get on this app. It's called NCSA, I believe. Anyway, it's a national college app, and how you get how you do it now is you're supposed to actually contact these coaches through this app. You got all these this app, and every one of the coaches, like I'm doing it, with my nephew slash son, Taryn Boda. He's getting looked at by 8 or 9 different colleges right now. It's because we can talk to the coaches before we go to the camp. You go to a camp. So you go to a camp, you hoping to get recognized, right? That's not how it works. How it works is you go, you get on this app and you say, hey, look, coach, check out my film. This and this and this. Now I got this and this. Look, check it out. See what you think. They give you an invite. Now, since you know that I'm coming to camp, I need you to take a look at me when I come to this camp. I'm not coming for a particular reason, except for you to come take a look at me. All right, so when you do it that way, you're alerting the coach. Like, all right, look, now when we have this camp, we need to take a look at this Boda kid. All right, because he got film up. We see what he can do on the field. Now let's take a look at him and see what he can do when he ain't in pass. So it's reversed now. Most time you go to a camp to get looked at. Now you get looked at before you go to a camp, and you get in a conversation with the coaches before you go to the camp to get looked at. So you come away with a scholarship.
Mm.
Now, if you go up there, you might get looked at. Maybe your 40 time might get you recognized. But I want to see what you look like on the field, all right, and pads before I want to see what you look like face to face without pads on. That ain't gonna do shit for me. Like because you run fast and you got some agility doesn't mean you like to get hit. Doesn't mean that you can take a hit. Don't mean you smart. Like Chris said, you can be fast as you want to be, but if you are intelligent on the field, that you have the IQ, you have a ball, you're a ball hawk. I want to see all that stuff before you get to my camp. That way I can give you an offer when you get to my camp because I can see you do the lateral and this and that, and you have a great attitude and you have a good NIL likeness, a likeness about you, like a character. So those are the things that you need to learn now in this day and age. It's not like it used to be. Like Chris, I used to get when I was a sophomore, and I was getting recruited by Akron Zip. I didn't even know what a damn zip was. Akron Zip. What the hell is Akron Zip? What's Akron Zip sending me, partial scholarships? I'm like, I'm getting one of them sophomore year. Why they sending it to me? I mean, I don't know who it was or where it was or what they seen some kind of tape on me at, but they was sending me, scholarships. When I was a sophomore, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get more. But it's not like it used to be. It used to be like, you be sending the VCR tape, you got to write a letter. But nah, man, they on these phones now. And I'm talking to these coaches like now, like, hey, I'm talking to Marshall's coach, talking to Ohio State, I'm talking to, Morehead State. I'm talking to all these coaches, just like on the phone, like, hey, we coming to your camp Wednesday, da da da. Just make sure you take a look at us when we get there. That way that you are singled out and you know that the coaches know what your name is. You feel more comfortable. You're like, yo, coach, hey, what do you think about my tape? We're talking about football now. We ain't talking about if you could play football. Well, you already know I could play football. You wouldn't have invited me to the damn camp. So that's the way it goes now. And these things, once you get one offer now, it's like a can of worms is opened up. And this is how you navigate and you negotiate your own deals now with the NIL going on right now.
I was about that was my
Like,
next question. How you
yeah,
feel
the
about them
NIL
NL deals?
the NIL, that's something I'm gonna be, jumping into as well. Like, here soon. It's like NIL is a different breed to the point where now you can actually be a coach. I got a coach. Like my man, Coach Hines. I love him to death, and he's a basketball coach up here. Salem, and this man got a vision. And these are things you can do is that you can actually sit here and buy yourself a team if you got enough money. I mean, only you can do an NIL deal for like 1 year. You got enough money, you can buy yourself the right team and win a championship and go on to the next one. That's that advantage. Whoever has the most money and whoever's smart enough with the money can buy themselves a team with NIL. These kids, they're making money, but at the same time, it's a little bit more twisted than you think because you can get all the money, but at the same time, you give them the money or you give them the right amount of money to the right person. That's where it's going to catch you. That's where it's going to bite you in the ass. If you're giving the right money to the right person. you're gonna have to balance it out and give the right money to a blue collar person that's gonna give you, maximum dollars for the effort. Like you're gonna have to dumb it down. That would be my strategy. But
What would you
that's
say,
what's going on.
Starky? I mean, the NIL
So
deals.
I want to take it back to the first question before NIL.
Go ahead.
I want to talk a little bit about that too first. So to these young men, young women out there right now, I think from ages 5 to 12, 13 years old, it needs to be fundamental based, right? We can't live our dreams through our kids out there on the fields now. They need to teach them those fundamentals of the game, because if they don't have those fundamentals coming into that eighth grade year of middle school, they're going to get left behind, because when they get to ninth grade, they already got to be a dude or a young woman on whatever sport that they're playing to even start getting a look. Then, like T was saying, you have to have NCAA eligibility requirements, and it's a whole list of things that they're looking for before a college coach is even going to talk to you. You got to have a GPA, high GPA. You got to have a high test score. You got to have so many of those blocks checked before that college coach is even going to start to talk to you now.
Yeah.
NIL here in Georgia, man, they're paying some of these guys big money down here for NIL, and I think that it's a great thing, right? But I also think they need to uh, mon- uh, they need to put some handles on it. They need to give those guys financial advisors. They need to give them attorneys to teach them lessons of how to manage the money and what the money's about. Because a lot of them don't have some money already, and when they get that money, they're running through the money. So I think they should get paid, and I say that because my first year at Marshall, man, we have class from 8 to 11:30. 12 o'clock, you at the stadium to 9 o'clock. My mom was working two jobs and still couldn't send me a lot of money, so I would be hungry at 9 o'clock because the cafeterias are closed, right? And even back then, the Whoppers was like 99 cents. So you're trying to scrape
Yeah.
change to get a Whopper, right? But
You
10
remember?
cent, 10 cent noodles or
Yeah.
whatever. But I feel like, and at that time, they couldn't pay collegiate players, or you couldn't get a job either. So, I think the NIL is big because they're making a lot of money off of their name. So I think they should get a piece of that money and be able to support their family if they're coming from a low income situation. And I think it's a great thing. I just think they got to figure out a way to make it more valuable and teach those young men a financial lesson, right? Also,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is very insightful because a lot of people don't come from money. A lot of people don't know how to manage money once they get
that's
it. You
right.
know what I'm saying? It's like you say, you retired, I'm retired. T doing this thing. It's like when you come from a poverty situation, it's like, and then all of a sudden you come into wealth or whatever, so a financial windfall. You got to be very careful because then the vultures come out. And then I'm quite sure y'all know the girls come from this way, that way. You got old
Yep.
friends coming from here. Like, cause you remember when we used to do this back in the day? I see a lot of athletes get taken advantage that way. A lot. But I'm gonna put something on you. I got this is a question. Give me your top five female athletes from Mountain View High School.
Ooh.
Female athletes, not males. Because then the next
All
one
right.
we're gonna go.
Hold on. Can we break it down? Can we break it down by sport?
Yeah, you can break it down. They can be from any sport. They can be
Yeah.
from any sport,
Any sport, huh? You want to
female
go
and
first? Or
male.
you want me to go first?
It don't matter. Whatever y'all want to do. Whoever want to go first.
All right, I'm gonna say my number one top athlete that I ever seen that come through there was in my time day and age was Monica Wilkins.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That was to me was like she was to me was more like one of the biggest superstars that have come through there, and I think it was her. Say basketball, baseball, football, right? Basketball. It was basketball, it's softball, and what else was there? Uh,
Monica's
See,
one of them
but
athletes. She could do anything that she wanted to do.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I said she
Yeah.
was just talented. She pick up a baseball. She could throw a baseball. You pick up
Yep.
a she was just a talented a lady, man. It was just tough. And I think what was the other girl? I really thought she was tough too. Was it Keisha Ingram?
Yeah.
I think it was Keisha.
And so I'm gonna add something to that because these two ladies played with them, but they was a little bit above
Yeah,
them. Ronetta Harrison,
Yep.
yep,
and
yep.
then
Oh
Stephanie
yeah,
McDaniel. Stephanie McDaniel will shoot your eyes out,
yeah,
boy. Boys
yeah,
and girls.
Boys and girls. She can
Boys
yeah.
shoot.
and girls.
She can shoot. She can shoot.
Yes.
You did too. Right, yep, King. And see, I think I put who was it? It's another girl, man. It's another girl. I'm just trying to
Felina
remember.
Thomas.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give Felina Thomas her props because she was tough. And then a big bird for sure, Keisha Ingram. She was a beast in that paint. Uh, softball, we had a dope softball girls team, but I just can't remember a lot of their names.
Neither. Me neither. Me neither. I don't know. I don't know about the girls. Like who was tough on girls softball. I really didn't really. It, I really didn't get into it. I just had people I was really cool with, on the softball team. I don't know. She was
Yeah,
really
so
good.
Well, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
see
go
if
with
I
them
can
one them
reach
ones
out.
the T name Monica,
Yo,
Keisha Ingram,
I'm gonna see
Ronetta Harrison,
Hurston.
Stephanie
Yeah.
McDaniel.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can reach out to some of them ladies and see if they want to come on and get their perspective and get their top five. Now, like, give me your top five male athlete from any sports, any era. What's the top five? Your top five male athletes that came through Mountain View that you done seen or you done heard about.
I got
Okay.
9.
You got nine. What you got, T?
I got more than five.
You can go up to 10. You can
I
go
mean,
up to as many as you
I
want.
just name them off. I just name them off. But I mean, the best athlete that ever came out through there, honestly, the best, the one that really, I mean, to me, I'm gonna go with Top. Top was the best. He was the best athlete that ever came out of there. He wasn't the best overall athlete, like three sport athlete or anything like that, but he was the best I think that ever came out of there that got the most recognition. I'll give it to him, and then I'll honestly, I'm looking at my top ones are a little bit different than most everybody else's. And the reason my number two athlete, honestly, would be honestly Chuck Charles Dabney, because honestly, Charles Dabney was one of the best athletes I ever seen come out of there. Three sport athletes. So I wanted to be like him, to be quite honest with you,
Okay.
because Chuck could play basketball. I mean, it's the sky gym. He could play baseball. He was sick at baseball, and he was sick at football. So he was one of the first three sport athletes that I chased down, like as trying to be one of like one of the best overall around athletes, that ever came out of Mountain View. That was my goal. It wasn't to be the best at baseball or basketball, football. It was to be the best all around, in every single thing that I touched.
Okay. You got three more.
That's the Marcus Clegg. Um, Marcus Clegg was one of the best athletes I ever seen. Baseball, basketball, and I mean, it was always the three sport athlete for me. It was like, well, because you played one thing good does not mean that you was in basically you was the best. Doobie was an exception. He was a freak of nature because he could play basketball too, and he could play baseball if he wanted to. But then I had to go with at the Marcus. I'd have to go with let's see. I'd say because I'm going to the individual to now would be I think it might have been like Drain Martin, and then Kenyatta Fadrell. Uh, I'd say I'd give it to Pepe too. Pepe was one of the top athletes that ever came out of there, especially when it came to baseball. And he could play basketball and shoot, play football. You know what I'm saying? On half decent. Um, being honest with you, Pep. So I'm giving you, at least I'm putting you up there in front of me for right now.
Pep, they give you a shutout.
What's that? See what else we got. King, I said Kenyatta, didn't I?
Yeah, that's six right there.
Let's see who else. Uh, Damian Jennings.
David Jennings.
Yeah, David Jennings. Yeah, David Jennings.
Listen, he's on my list. That dude would
Yeah,
shoot your eyes out.
he was pure wet. You know, like he was just a really talented dude.
I would have loved to
Um,
seen him and D Man have a shooting contest. I don't.
oh yeah, no,
Both of them can shoot. I just don't think David is more pure shooter than D Man. Now, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
Deacon.
D Man can let it rip. So
yeah, I'm trying to,
David can
uh,
too.
Hey, so check this out. I'm gonna tell you a funny story, kid.
What's up,
We was playing somebody one game, and Jennings was cold. Guess who was hot?
D Man?
And Kenny Price, bruh.
Ooh,
Kenny
Kenny
Price was
Price. I
shooting
remember
the
Kenny
lights
Price. He
out
was a
too.
wet shooter too. Yeah, he had a
yeah.
little wet shot on him.
Listen, Listen, we had some shooters out there. That's why I say when you say top five, man, listen. So I'm gonna start my list out with some old heads. These are dudes I watched when I was in middle school, elementary, right? But Jerome Ingram, Mike Horton, bruh, and Titty Rue, Marcus Clegg on that football field. Them three guys were dominant
Ooh,
characters on the football field.
yes.
That 90 to 92 era of football players that they had there,
We was
you
the
can
shit.
name many, but
Mm-hmm.
those three names stick out to me the most, right? Every time I would watch G, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a quarterback like Roney at Mount View High School. That dude
Mm-hmm.
could run, he could
Mm-hmm.
throw, and he would run you over.
Mm-hmm. Ask the
Tit
quarterback.
played nose guard at 170 pounds, 180 pounds, right? Uh, and used to tote the load for like 100 every game.
Tit was just mean. Marcus, you know I love you, but Tit was just mean. There's no other way.
Yep. Yep. So I'm gonna take them three early on, and then coming into my era, I'm gonna go with Gerald and David. Right? David started it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was a 10th grader. He was a senior. He was getting recruited by WVU. He took me on some of his recruit visits. I got to see some stuff. Got my name out there. They started looking at me a little bit, and then that next year, Gerald just showed out and just broke out. So that dude can flanker screen. That's his joint. Him and Chuck Love, Charles Dabney, that flanker
Mm-hmm.
screen. Every time they caught that, they was gone. So I appreciate David and Gerald. Both of them guys helped me get on with some college recruiting. They took me to a lot of places. Went to Tulane, West Virginia with them dudes, man. So those two guys gonna round out my football. Then basketball, I'm going with David Jennings, right? David Jennings was that dude. He put up a lot of points. I want to say he finished with like 1,254 points or something in Mount View. I
Mm-hmm.
played with him 2 years, and that dude could shoot the lights out, and he could play some good defense when he wanted to, right?
Yeah,
He
when he
was
wants.
long, limber. He could put it on the ground, but like
Yeah, he was
that was
wet.
some
He
of
was
the
wet.
Oh
He
yeah.
was wet. He was a complete basketball player. That's why. Listen, I was young and I remember David Jennings.
He played at Bluefield State. He
Shout
was
out.
wet.
Yeah.
and
Yo,
listen, his
by the way,
basketball
Mr.
IQ
Long,
was
Mr.
off
Long, you
the
was in my
chain.
top 10. Tell Gerald he was in my top 10 because Gerald showed me how to do a three piece. He was the first one to show me how to do a three piece. That's why I was so ill at route running because Gerald showed me how to run route. He showed me the route tree. He was the first one to ever show me the route tree. It was like, yo,
Yeah,
you
because
just do
he was going all those places, man, and
yeah.
learning those things, and then he would come back and work on it and perfect his craft, and that's how he got his scholarship, man. I think every one of us that got out of there with a scholarship perfected our craft in some way. Uh, I don't think a lot of the coaches helped us along to get us out of that environment. We did a lot of it ourselves, making our own tapes and sending off videos and stuff. But and then I'm gonna finish it up with some baseball guys. I got Chili Brown on that joint
Oh
and
yeah.
Tony Hood.
Oh yeah.
Tony Hood is an all around utility guy. He was a
Yeah.
dude in elementary all the way through high school. That dude was ripped up, had muscle everywhere, fast from elementary all the way to high school. So
Keystone Elementary.
I put Tony Hood on my list too.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, T Hood. I remember T Hood in elementary was grad story. Like I said, I always been around sports. Most people don't know that, but we was on the basketball team with me, Tony Hood, Johnny Safford, Bo Gator,
Yes,
all of us.
yes.
Yes, all of us, because all of us could play. But and Tony,
Lionel.
Lionel Woody, yeah. Tony grabbed the rim, and we had just got the floor painted, the gray. When Keystone Elementary used to have the gray floor, would you?
Yeah.
Tony chipped the paint because he was trying to dunk and he put it. He blamed my ass. Mr. Wright got on me. I said I didn't
I
do
was about to
this.
say, Mr. Wright ran y'all all through the
Yeah,
gym.
I didn't do this. Tony no, Tony said it was me. I said I didn't do this. Tony just, man, we ran our ass off. We ran. We ran. So,
Yeah, so I started off with y'all my fourth grade year in Keystone, Black Chucks, and
yep.
then Mom Dukes moved us to Kimball.
Kimball.
I
Yep.
finished out in Kimball. So I love all my Key Rock and KBL dudes, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both cities and everywhere, right? Like I had partners from all around the whole county that I just rocked with, right? I ain't try to distinguish from anywhere. Like if it was fighting, those fights would break out all the time. I step away because I have dudes on both sides of the joint fighting, and I wasn't even trying to get in it. I just walk away.
I mean, when it came to that, it was about respect. It was like, wasn't nobody trying to.
Hmm.
It's not like it is today. Wasn't nobody trying to jump nobody. I used to run with
Nope.
Dre. Tia tell you, me, Dre, and Kiana.
Yes.
We used to run
Hey,
around
listen.
together. Yeah.
We used to be. That's how me and T got so tight. I used to be at his house so much
Yeah.
with Dre. Boy, hey, look, we come from that pool. Ooh-wee.
I
Yeah, we had the spot
I ain't
downtown. I
got
ain't gonna
nothing to.
lie.
I don't want to relive them days. This was some good days. I'm married now.
Great days.
I don't.
Great days, man.
That was a great day. Cause that's where I met your sisters. Like Dre took me up to the house and she's like, "I know you. You Laquita's brother. I don't know you." Like yada yada yada. There was some good days, man. Me and Kiana used to thumb a
Yeah,
ride down the
we
road.
had the spot, man. We had
Yeah,
the spot, man. I was a little game little nerd back then, man. I stayed out of trouble back then. Everybody else was having a good time. I was just playing video games, but
you were just
man,
young, man.
I
You
got
were
to do.
just young.
You guys come through and show me some love, though, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys coming through. I really do. Like y'all was like always like brothers to me, man. So I
yeah.
appreciate it. That's why it was more. It meant a lot more to me than you guys could possibly imagine. That's why I played hard for every team that I was on, man, because everybody gave me that respect and they took care of me and they love me, man. That's why I just wanted to show love back.
That
Hey, hold on. Did I put Pepe in the baseball players, right? I said
I
Pepe too,
did,
right?
no.
I did,
T
but I
said
don't know
Pepe.
about
You
you.
didn't
I
say
did.
Pepe.
I no Pepe. I got Pepe wrote down too. So baseball, Chili Pepe, and then Tony Hood all the way around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, Tony Hood's my
I'll
utility
be
guy.
humble. I'm not putting myself in the top 10. I think that I did my thing on each level
No, you can't
that
put yourself in the top 10.
no, you
It's
can't.
not.
No. So, but you know what I'm saying. I did my thing on each level though. Like I tried to do my best.
Hey,
My last year so weird though is that I got stripped of everything my last year. I don't know if you know about that football wise. Anyway, I got stripped of everything. Coach Gravely stripped me of everything, dog. He stripped me of everything. He's like, nah, you can't have nothing. That was because the last game, me and Philip and Corey Wilkins, we decided to do our own thing, and
he
like, hey,
told me about that too.
oh, bro, look,
He told
coach
me
was
about
so
that.
mad. He was so mad. He was like, yo, I told y'all to go out there and tell them we wanted to kick off. Man, I looked at Philip. Phil looked at me, and Corey looked at me. I'm like, man,
We
this
want the
our last
ball.
game. We ain't won a game all year, man. You want me to kick the ball off? Man, hell no. I'm the one out here, dog. I'm telling we want the ball. Go out there like, hey, look. So y'all want the ball? Y'all want to kick off? I said, shit, we want that, bro. All
Say,
right, cool. Yeah, I was like, dude, yeah, you want the ball? Now you taking the ball. Coach like, who the phone get the ball? I said, hey, coach, I did. Corey was like, I did too. Philip said, I did too. We want to win. He said, well, if y'all want to win, why don't y'all sit y'all asses on the bench or whatever for the rest of the game? Y'all done. It's like, are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me, coach? Because we want to win? Like, no. Yeah, he said it's on the bench, strip me, like all state. I had 15 touchdowns that year. 7 of them was like, you know what I'm saying, like just basically just like passes. 3 of them was like, like punts. The rest of them were like, I think I had 4 or 5 picks, and he throw them outside. You know what I'm saying? I had a great year, but we didn't win a damn game. You know what I'm saying? Like we win a game,
Damn.
had a great year. Then it did not win a
That
damn
had to
game. That
hurt.
was just, it was because I gave my all. That was the year, man. I played 5 positions that year. I played running back. I played wide receiver. I had to run a 90-yard kickoff back, and then I had to kick a field goal. Kick an extra point. I had either punt, punt return, wide receiver, running back, wherever D line, running back, linebacker, free safety, corner, wherever they need to put me at, I had to go. Like for certain positions, like, and I had to learn all those positions and get it.
But that made you a
Hey,
better
so
round,
so
better
check this
athlete.
out, Lou.
Yeah.
So check this out. For real, for real. He's not BSing. He started his first game in free safety because they moved me to corner to play a guy one on one. And this is what makes me mad about some of the stuff that they did. Even though we could play anywhere on the field, especially that year, I was getting recruited and they moved me to corner, bruh. I lost a couple scholarship offers because of that,
Oh wow.
right? Playing corner. And I didn't know that at the time, but when them coaches called me, they was like, yo, your film is you're playing corner. You're not a safety. What's going on? You need to play safety. And then they moved me down to linebacker a couple games, bro. I'm like, and like earlier we were saying, we would
Wow.
do it for the team. We was trying to win.
Right.
At that time, I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better, and I just played whatever position Coach Nystrom asked me to play the win for the team. And I look back at it now. I wish that I would have just stayed at safety and continued my journey there. Maybe I would have went somewhere different. Uh, like I lost my offer to Purdue because of that. But it is what it is. But life is life.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen for a reason. So I was just blessed to be able to play a little bit at Marshall and play a little bit of semi-pro, and then went to the Army and lived life, whatever that path was set for me. And I'm here now, still giving back to the youth, coaching sports still now, man.
No, I don't say much. I watch. I for me, I am proud of the people I done went to school with. I grew up with. I watches you guys like I watches T's podcast, and I might say something every now and then, like no buffoonery or something like that. He doing his thing. I watches you with your sports and stuff. I watches everybody that who I grew up with, like D Man. I watch Pep, like how they give back to the community and all of that. I was watching Divorce and all of that, and how they give back. I am honored to know you guys because your heart is just when y'all doing it. I just see the pureness of your heart. You're not doing it for recognition. You're not doing it for attention. You're doing it because you love the community. You love the school, and that's what's up for
Amen.
me. That's what I
Hey,
love to do.
you know what, Keg, you say that, bro. And let me hit T real quick. T been asking me for an interview on his show for like months, but I'm just now. And I tell you straight up, I've been running since fall up until the end of May with camps and football, where every weekend we out of town somewhere. So this was the first weekend that I had available, and you asked me to be on your show. And you know what? I had just talked about you, Lou. I was like, yo, that's crazy
Yo,
that I had just talked about you and you sent me a message, bro,
yeah,
and asking me to be on your show. So, T, you next, bro. I'm going to come on yours, but you got to get me before July. Because come July, we're going to be busy, bro. But I say this. You know what? It was some men in my life that made me the person that I am today, right?
right.
Of course, my granddad and my uncles, but Mr. Brooks, Mr. White, uh, ran right, Mr. Hardy, all these coaches, Mr. Redmond, Pete Cartwright,
Mm-hmm.
Leon,
Mm-hmm.
Coach Nystrom, all these guys, they instilled something in me, man, just to love the game that I played. And I take that same mental aspect when I go on the field coaching these young men. I'm just doing it for giving it my all because I love the game. I still call Dave, like I call Dave all the time, like, hey, bro, I know you was a special teams guy. Look, they put me in special teams. I need a punt return. Look, I would need that punt return reran in Mount View where we ran it back every time. So I still politic, about those things with some of the guys right now. So that those influential men that put it in our lives growing up, man, and those dudes were special because if you didn't have a ride, they would pick you up on the back of their trucks, take you to practice. When they got you back from practice, they'd stop you at a store, buy you a Rocky Top and a bag of chips or a Little Debbie,
Yep.
and drop everybody off on their way home, man.
75 cents and get your Rocky Talk in a bag of
Yep.
chips.
Yep.
Yep. No, I agree. That's why I was talking about Maurice. Take me from Welch to Keystone, past his house, drop me off, and turn around and go back home. I would never forget that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That made me want to give my all to him. You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do, Coach? I'm gonna go do it because you taking the time out for me. I truly understand that. I truly understand
Listen,
that.
Coach Page, bruh, when he would
Yeah,
come
Coach
from
Page,
Bluefield,
legend. That
he
legend.
would
That's a
pick
legend
up
right there.
people from Switchback all the way down to the Melon. And in
Yep.
his little what was that, a Bronco? We'd be like 9 deep in that joint going on the Melon. I remember there was times he would have to stop and let us out halfway, and we would have to walk halfway up. He'd be like, "Yeah, y'all go ahead and get your conditioning in, cause my truck can't make it with all this weight in here." Yeah,
Yeah.
so man, yeah, Lou, that's good
We had some
memories,
great
man.
people, man. We had some great people take care of us, man. Like it wasn't like I said, it wasn't just the players. It was the teachers, man. You know that Coach Page, like Rev, like even even Anna Pipe, man. Like she really got me out of that funk, man. When I needed I needed a friend. I needed somebody that would give me that extra attention that I needed. I mean, I needed a school mom. You know what I'm saying? Like to take care of me. I needed brothers, school moms, all the ladies, Miss Jack, all the ladies with Miss Morris, all those teachers, Miss Harrison, and Miss Harrison, they kept my ass in line, man. They made sure that I didn't cross those thresholds of just going down the wrong line, wrong path, man. They always kept me straight and they kept me focused, man. I really do appreciate them
Right.
for all that.
Well,
But you know what, cuz like for real, as a young man, you had a lot of adversity
yeah,
to face,
yeah.
as
We
a
had a
young
lot.
man in life, bruh.
Yeah.
So all those people uplifting you, and then all of us just being around one another. I mean, you think sometimes we ate at other people's houses, man, because we didn't have food at home, or whoever's house we were at was
We
gonna
ate.
make sure we ate.
We ate. Yeah. We ate. Plain and
Yeah.
simple. Let me read some of these comments. See, you got Damian Jackson, Pepe watching, Monica Brown. They watching y'all. This is y'all's interview. D man said, "What's up,
Oh yeah,
brothers?"
Cat was dope at at
What's up?
softball.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Put.
Yeah, Cat was tough. I mean, Cat was she was a tough one. We got Jennifer Douglas. She was tough too.
Yeah.
Like I give her that. Same with the threes and same points scored. So yeah, we got some other people. Right?
Put. I ain't never ran from nobody. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all two. But I ain't never ran from nobody. If anybody think I'm gonna run, let's do our thing. I'm 50 years old and I still beat the fuck out of some of y'all. I promise you that. But I ain't never ran for nobody. You don't play games with me like that. I'm a grown ass man. But anyway, Sion watching.
What is good?
I'm just reading the comments. Sion watching. Sion said his number one is Jerome Ingram. That's my go to.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
Gee, that's
Put
for sure.
laughing. Put yo. That's
But listen, you gotta understand. You gotta understand what cuz don't like to get a rise out of
I
people. That's
know,
all
I
that is.
know.
You know what I'm
He sit
saying?
here.
That's just who he is, man. That's
Yeah,
just
if
who
I put
he
up the
is,
comments,
man.
you'll see he just sit here and start laughing. That's Put for you. That's Put.
All
I
day.
love Put. And then, hey, Sion, I want to get that interview with you one day too, cause Sion, like that was before me. Sion and Bam Harris and all of them boys was bad too. Y'all.
Hey,
Yeah.
so check this out, Lou. So check this out. I remember Sion didn't go to college immediately after high school. He waited until he was a grown man and had some kids and got in shape and went to Concord and rec shop, bruh.
And Rec Shop, yes he did. That's
As a
that's
grown man.
that's a grown man. That's what he did. That's
And lost like 50 pounds to do it.
to do it. Yes, he did. A lot of people don't know that Sion did his thing at Concord too.
Listen, even at Mount View, bruh, he was a nasty tight end, catch everything. Like, that's why I said we had so many athletes that came through that high school, it was ridiculous. We should have, some of them stories that they're talking about, those legends out of West Virginia, or those people that should have, could have been. Man, we got 50 of them in McDowell County for sure.
Oh yeah. Put want to come in. Hold on, I'm gonna send him the link right quick. He want to come in. I guess he want to
Hey
holler at
man,
y'all.
you got another spot. You got another spot.
Oh, I got plenty of spots. So y'all can go ahead and like Sion and all of them. Let's see. Like I get Jerome Ingram my number one. My number two is Jermaine Fadrell. And this, like I said, this is my time.
Ooh,
That's my number
I
two.
forgot about Jam.
Wolf was bad. Wolf was
Yes,
baseball, football, basketball, any sport,
Jam
anything
City,
with a ball.
baby.
That's my number
Dunk
two.
on everybody.
Yeah. My number three would be Harold Brown. My number four would be Marcus Clegg. You might not know
Who's
Harold
Harold
Brown.
Brown?
Harold Brown from Mayberry Bottom. He played at Brownville. You're gonna have
Oh
to look.
yes,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
yes,
about now.
yes.
That would
Him
be
and the other dude, bro. What was the other dude's name?
For my
Dandrick.
time right there, I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, this is way before your time. Dandrick,
Yeah.
his cousin Dandrick.
Dandrick. Yes,
Yes, yeah.
yes.
Dandrick died in the fire. R.I.P. Then Marcus would be on my number four, and number five. I got to put David Edwards. I just like David Edwards as a bruising back. You know,
Yes.
that man can run that ball. That's just for me. That's just football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only problem is that
it's too many.
he was one of the top in the top 10. That you just said, hey, who's the top 10 football player? David's in the top 10 all day.
Yeah,
Like he might be obviously in the top six to me in my category, obviously, but it was just football. He concentrated on football. He stopped playing baseball. He used to be great at baseball. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, but then the baseball kind of just dropped off. He didn't do the basketball. So other than that, football, yeah, D. I ain't never seen a back that is more talented than him besides, Kelvin. Him and Kelvin kind of matched up. Kelvin was faster though, but Dave was, I
Hey,
think, a little
hey,
bit more.
I don't know about that. T. Dave was just as fast. Look, I
yeah.
saw Dave run 4.445, bro.
Hey,
Is that
Put, you got
right?
the
Dave
link.
was
Just
fast too,
log in,
dog.
Put. You got the link.
Okay, listen, Dave, I'm sorry, I didn't know you ran 4.5. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen, he
like
no,
you
I ain't
running
gonna
like
say
me.
4.4. It was like 4.5, 4.6, but he was 250 pounds, bruh.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah,
and he taught Top most of the stuff that
but
he
he
know,
know.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. All
yeah.
right, I give him that. I give
He
him that,
coached.
man.
David Edwards coached Top.
yeah, he mentored that. And Top though, he was just a different dude, man.
Yeah,
That dude, I say he was a monster on offense, but on the defensive line, like his hands and feet was unbelievable, unblockable, right? Uh, he had a solid career. I like Du Bois in that top 10
Yeah.
too. Rest his soul, man.
yeah. Rest his soul's on, but
I
yeah,
miss the conversation, man. Used to have every other night, man. We man, like that was my dog. Like, man, we would talk about things behind closed doors. I always talk about football though. Always talking about the kids, and that's the one thing that my passion is with these kids. Like I didn't get a chance. Kind of got cut off, but yeah, I've been coaching, man, for 25 years, man. Like I've coached girls soccer, football. My nephew, he's my little nephew, dog. He's in the Hall of Fame. He in the NFL Hall of Fame, dog, age 10.
oh yeah,
That this is, yeah, he in the Hall of Fame, man. He won a national championship in the Hall of Fame. That shit is crazy. He 10 years
Yeah,
old, he in
that's
the Hall
dope.
of Fame. Yeah. And Cash be down to try to get in the Hall of Fame. He already in it. Very talented kid, but coaches
Hey,
football. What's up?
my bad, Lou. I got a question for you though. Why Tit nominate me for the interview? That's what I want to know.
Why he
to be
what?
totally honest, because some of the names
Yeah.
the two of y'all done said on that list, I don't think that is a good or great all around athletes. It's about your top five. And I asked Tit for an interview. He said he was busy. I was like, well, who can I get to do it? And he was like, the first name that came out of his mouth was Starkey. I said, Starkey was there. I know Starkey was a great athlete. Starkey was there. Yeah, man, Starkey was good. I said, all right.
Listen, me and Tick. I remember as a freshman, bruh, me and Tick played in the paint for Mount View, and we was handling cats, bruh.
Well,
I was a
he gave you
garbage
some
guy,
respect.
right? Like I was a garbage guy, and me and Tick, we used to run together all the time, and that dude toughened me up for real as a ninth grader
Mm.
to make me what I was 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Why you think I rocked number one?
Yeah,
He gave me that praise to wear it, bruh.
yeah.
Yeah,
He got a
I remember you told me when you gave it to me. You was like, "Yo, it's an honor to have number one. You got to represent that shit." It's like,
Tig got
hey,
a lot of
hey.
respect for you because he the one that told me to call you, bro. I mean, it's like I know who Chris Starkey is. Like you said, I've been knowing you since I was 7, 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? I know Chris Starkey is, but I wasn't I wasn't in them practices. I wasn't on that field, and I wasn't in them huddles. You know what I'm saying? When y'all was playing, I didn't see the look in your eyes. Is Chris
Yeah.
really? What do you say about?
Hey, listen, hey, you said about that Magnolia game, right? You know, so that Magnolia game was probably his best game he ever played. But you know what I wanted for him was I wanted to make sure he went out as a winner. So your boy, you know, I had 2 interceptions in that game. I had one of the best games I ever had that Saturday, dog, to make sure that man went out because he showed me the ropes, man. And I hated that we didn't get to go to the playoffs that year. I think we came like maybe a game or some kind of weird thing. That Fairmont game messed us up. That Lightning game messed us up that year because we didn't play
We
that
was
game.
balling that game too.
Mm-hmm.
We was about to wear them out.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we was about to wear him out, bro. We was about to wear him out. The lightning struck, and then we was about to, that game right there got us out of the playoffs because we didn't want to go back. They wanted us to drive all the way back up to Fairmont and play the game again. And
Mm-mm.
we ended up, saying we ended up saying, nah, we can't do that. So we ended up losing what was a tie, and that hurt us. That's why we didn't get the playoffs that year. It was because that game right there.
Well, let me bring in this other guest, somebody that, as we know is Esco.
Uh,
Willie Esco. There you go.
There you go. What
yeah,
up?
What
what
up?
up, baby?
In the flesh, the one and only. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, homie?
Chilling, man, chilling.
I can't call. Good.
Mm-hmm.
I
Q,
see you
what's
messing with
up,
people,
man?
P. I see you messing with people,
What's
Put.
good, Pa?
But I always got something to say.
Woo!
Q,
Get him,
what's up?
P. What's
Chilling,
up?
T,
baby.
what's
What's
up?
good with you?
Shit, same old, same old.
I know it.
You
I
want
know.
to
I see
dispute
you
they
getting
top
Happy,
paid
hey,
five?
look,
too,
happy
boy.
Father's Day to
Look, you better
everybody.
quit hanging on them
Happy
poles,
Father's Day to
getting them
everybody.
abs
Happy
tight, dog.
Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, man. Happy Father's Day. So who your top five, Put?
Who your top five?
For my top five,
Yeah.
let me see. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. I got Jerome Ingram number one. You can't overlook him. T, you might be a little bit too young. You see what I'm saying? You ain't done your research, so I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you get a pass on that, cuz. You definitely get a pass on that, cuz you a little bit, but you can't talk Mount View without talking fucking Jerome Ingram. You just can't. It ain't gonna work out like that. And number two, let me see number two. Number two, I'm gonna have to go with let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Number two, I I'm gonna lean towards Top or David Evans. Between them two. I ain't gonna need front. Like between them two.
Mm.
That's why I'm leaning towards on them two.
Oh, okay.
Top and Evans. You know what I'm saying? That's like from what I seen with my own eyes. Number
Mm-hmm.
three, let's see. Let's see. Number three, fucking Titty Roo. I ain't doing no fucking Titty Roo. Uh, let's see. Two we got. Q, man, you can't say you was average because you was a monster out there all the way around, nigga. On the
Humble
court
pie is what
and
he
on the
trying to give us
gridiron.
right now. You was a
I'm
monster.
not giving no humble pie, but it was athletes better
Nah,
than me,
Cube
bruh.
holding back. He trying to say he was average, but Cube was a monster though, all the way around the board. Like that nigga's athlete all the way around the board. You got basketball, you got football, and like, come on, man. Like, don't take away from
We can't
yourself.
talk about
Go
ourselves,
ahead.
Put. He says that was the rule. We can't talk about
Hey, talk about
ourselves.
yourself.
Yeah, I
Oh,
gotta let
okay. I ain't
other
know that.
people
My bad.
nominate
I
me.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
My
can't
bad.
talk about
My
yourself.
bad. But
I
yeah,
trust me, cause I put
Cube.
myself in the top
Hey,
10.
listen, Cube know what he brought to Mount View. Listen, Cube know what he brought to Mount View. T know what he brought to Mount View. Both of them was dogs on the field. Peppy too. You know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on. All I was saying with T is you can't speak Mount View without bringing up number seven. You know what I'm saying? Like
Who?
That's true.
you gotta throw Rashi in there. You gotta throw
Who
Lip
would
in
you
there. Come
say?
on, Cube. You gotta throw
Hey,
David
listen,
Lipscomb in that
today,
motherfucker.
I put Edwards in the top 10. I told myself it was only because, but it's only because he only played football. P. That was the only. It was like all
Hey,
overall
but
athlete.
they had dogs though. Look, they had dogs back then too. What about David Lipscomb? What about Nate Burrows? Come on
Ooh,
now, let's talk.
yeah.
Hey,
Peanut
hey,
butter
hey,
for
They
sure.
had dogs back
Hey,
then. They had some
I listen.
yeah.
serious dogs
I
back then.
told you my reason, P. It was my reason was the three sport athlete. I looked at all three sports, and that's why I did mine off of. Like
Okay,
that's why I
okay.
put
Well,
that's why I put
listen. I didn't understand. Look, I seen that after Cube started talking when he went to basketball
yeah
when he shot out
yeah
Fadre.
because like I was talking about
I
like
was just on I
I
was
put
just on football.
Marcus Clay, a three sport athlete, baseball, basketball, football, phenomenal in all three. Charles Dabney, phenomenal in all three sports. I was looking at the overall aspect of
I
all
got
three
you.
sports. But then I went with Doobie first because I felt like he the one got the helicopter ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the highest defensive. He was one of the first three defensive players ever to get a full scholarship at West Virginia.
Right.
Hey,
I know
Who
the
you talking
facts.
about?
Okay.
You know what I'm
Miss
saying?
Edwards?
My fault,
What's
T.
that?
Stephanie
Who you
Mack
talking
said
about?
that
Barnett
she had to
Edwards?
get Steph Mack said that she got me and Starkey tough in basketball. I remember playing against her when we was young. I ain't
I
gonna.
said,
Oh,
listen,
yeah,
I
she
don't
was
know
one
why
of the
Cube
best
sitting
too.
up
She was
front.
one of the
Cube was a
best. She was
dog all the way
tough.
around the goddamn board. He know that.
I appreciate you.
Like real
I
talk.
appreciate you, Skelly. Hey,
I
listen,
mean, look,
I'm
like
gonna tell I'm
Starkey.
gonna tell
Honestly,
y'all a
he
story.
not playing no game.
I'm
He
gonna
was
tell
like one of
y'all
the
a
first.
story about Paul, right? So I got my scholarship, right? We downtown one night, and he rolling up. He like, Q, you gotta exercise. Let's go. You getting in shape. This cat had me running against the cars. You know the speed limit was 25 through town, right? Because Tom Anderson will pull you over in Kimball.
Nigga,
Listen,
I thought I was your manager at one point in time, Q. Shit.
hey, but listen though, he had me running against them cars, bruh, and I was running full sprints, and some of the cars would slow down, so I know I was probably running 15 miles an hour, 16 miles an hour, but
Hey,
it was many nights that we would do that
What's
downtown because we didn't have those trainers or those gyms, right? So I appreciate that love, bruh.
Yeah.
that's real shit, Cube. That's real shit, big dog. Yeah, real shit. I thought you forgot this shit though. I used to run around like, hey, what's LeBron's agent's name? That's who the fuck I thought I was for Cube.
Clutch. You was Clutch Sports.
Hey, yo, Cube,
Real
though,
talk.
yo, I think
Real talk.
you was like the first, you were the first dude that you started when you was in ninth grade, right?
I did at
That was the first time I ever
basketball. I
seen.
was a
That
starter
was the first time I ever
basketball.
seen. Yeah, I was like, yo, this dude started. Was it football too, wasn't it, or was it basketball?
A few games. They started me at DN. I was a little dude too. Then I was like 160 at DN.
It
Damn.
didn't matter though. I'm like, yo, Chris Starkey started a ninth grader. Like, you can do
Hey,
that.
what about Randy
Man,
Johnson?
hey,
Pep said Randy Johnson. That's a
Oh
name that
yeah,
all of us forgot.
hey, Randy was a dog.
Randy
Randy was a
was a
yes
fucking
sir.
dog.
dog.
Randy was a dog.
But that's
Yeah,
why I
Randy
say
was a
it's too
dog.
many. It's too many, man. Like
It's too
every time
many.
a
Like
name come up,
it's
it
honestly
hit
too
your
many of
mind.
them,
Like
man. I ain't gonna
yo,
even front.
listen,
Yeah.
Randy Johnson was throwing 90 off the mound
Yes, sir.
for
Hey,
real.
what about baseball wise? What about Jamie Bailey? Jamie Bailey was a
Yeah.
beast.
Jamie Bailey was good.
Uh, but Kenny, like you said, Kenny Price was like the truth though.
Okay,
Like he
so
was,
so
he was
so here
truth.
you go.
Hey,
Y'all name Randy Johnson. I got another one for you. Jamie Miller.
Oh yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah. You can't forget about Miller time. Yeah,
Listen, he could run. He could run that rock, bruh. He was
yeah,
smooth with it
yeah,
too.
yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
facts. That's facts. That's fucking facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want you the guys to know that in my book, Starkey T, y'all consider Pat legends. Y'all did something that didn't
Out
want
the
to do.
gate.
Yeah, y'all was good
Hands
at it.
down. That's no question. Shit, Peppy too.
Yeah, Peppy too.
Shit.
I'm trying to get them all to come
I ain't
on
gonna even
putt,
front with
but
it.
I always catch him with it busy. Like Starkey said, I got lucky with him. So T was like, if Starkey doing it, I do it. So I got lucky, but I
Well,
want to
I
thank
want to
y'all.
kill two
Nah,
birds with one
Q,
stone. Me
nah,
and Starkey been
Q,
trying to hook
hey,
up
nah,
for a
Q
minute,
needed
bro.
to put his story out there. He needed to get over here though. I'm glad he got over here. That's the only reason why I'm on this motherfucker.
Yo, Cube, everybody got a lot of respect for you, Cube. Nobody thinks you average but you. Everybody know you can ball, bro. Like I say, T.
Listen, I didn't want to toot my own horn, Lou, for real, but man, listen, I was just blessed to have some people around me, man, that took me to the game, right? Like David and Mr. Edwards, his granddaddy, bruh, as a 10th grader, I was going to WVU every weekend, bruh, because he was getting recruited, right? So he started it all for me. Then the next year, Gerald, we went to Tulane, we went to WVU, we went to Virginia Tech. So I was starting to get put on the map, and no BS. My senior year, I probably got 2,000 letters from massive amounts of colleges. I had 13 offers, bro. I just didn't know where I wanted to go to school. I didn't have no guidance, nobody to tell me about college and recruiting. And these coaches would tell me lies like, hey, you're going to come in and start. But when I went to Marshall, bro, that Marshall environment brought me to Marshall. But I wish I would have went somewhere else. Like I could have went Big Ten. I could have went to Purdue, man. I could have played in SEC. And I wish I would have took different options. But like I told you earlier, the path that was led for me was already laid out. I'm blessed to be where I am now, man, and just being able to be recognized from y'all guys, man, as one of the patch legends and one of those great athletes, man, that came out of that area. I'm one of many.
That's fact.
And that's why I'm so humbled with it, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
facts,
want to say
facts.
that is facts. Congratulations. I thank you for. I thank God for giving you your talents and, for lack of better words, entertaining us and showing us both of you, and showing us how the right way to play the sports, the right way to do things. I thank God for you guys coming back and giving it back to the youth, reaching back and raising somebody else up, because that's what it's about. I mean, we did what we did, got what we got, but if when you reach back and pull somebody else up, that's what it's about, because it's not all about us. You know what I'm saying? D man want the link. I'm gonna send D man the link and see if he log in.
Oh, so now he want to come into the game.
Get the old head in there,
Yeah,
OG,
now
man.
everybody want to come in.
Could have got him on here. Could have got him on here in the first place, bro. It's been
Yeah,
rocky.
D man, there you go. You got the link. Log in when you ready.
Listen, just imagine if you'd have had all of
Hey,
us up on the
hey,
screen at
hey,
one
hey,
time.
hey,
The
hey,
environment.
my brother Kid.
What up?
You say everybody want to come in now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know I'm not gonna
Hey,
sugarcoat nothing.
hey,
I'm not
look.
gonna
This is
sugarcoat.
good though. This is
Hey,
good
that's
promo
cause
right
your
here,
boy
though. You know.
Pop came in on here for you. Hey
You
Q, what up with you, boy? I love you.
Hey, listen though, what if everybody would have been in there from the beginning? The stories that would have
Yeah,
been
I
told,
know. I
right?
mean that's what we got to do, Mr. Lewis, is get everybody in here at the beginning. And you'll get P in here, get
can
D
I
in
be
here.
honest with you?
Yeah, yes, sir.
D man supposed to been working on that. I already had this in the
Ooh,
works. I have all of
oh,
this in the works. D man told I wanted to do, like I said, I wanted to do with started this out, Patch Legends. I got my first interview with G, because that's my number one. That's my goat. He was gonna be the first one, and then I tried to get some interviews with some other people. They didn't want to do it. Then, like I said, Marcus told me to holler at Starkey. Starkey immediately. Before Starkey said yes, I talked to D man. I said I can host up to 25 people. And I said, man, you get everybody. I can host everybody, because you see how easy it's all to log in. It's not hard.
yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, and I said we can have a conversation just like old days, like shit, just like we used to. It ain't nothing to it. I want to do that because I think
Hey, so I don't mean to interrupt you, Lou, but when you had Ronnie on there, did he talk about any offers he received in high school as a quarterback at Mount View? Like, did he receive any college offers to play quarterback anywhere?
yes, but I won't tell you because I want you to go subscribe to Chef Lou's Roundtable. That whole interview
Gotcha.
with Pablo Escobar is on there.
Chef Lou Roundtable.
Apostrophe yes.
There he is. What up, Coach?
Unmute yourself, D man.
What's good with it, guys?
What up?
Popping,
What's up,
Coach.
D?
Ain't much, Cube. What's up with it, Putt? T, Keg, what up?
Man, living life. What you doing?
I'm blessed, man. I woke up this morning. You heard me?
Amen.
Down here in Orlando, just kind of chilling for a second. Then start volleyball in a couple days. My daughter's volleyball tournament.
Always swinging that arm, boy. She gonna be next on the list somewhere.
She got patch
Yo,
blood in
Putt,
her.
what you eating,
We're
Putt?
working
What you
on it,
eating,
man.
dog? Where you at?
Huh?
Putt, where you
But
at, bro?
probably at work. He got like 15
I'm with my
jobs.
wife and my father-in-law.
Okay.
What up?
What's up,
Oh,
cuz? How you doing,
what's up,
cuz?
Steph?
Yeah, I'm out for my Father's Day dinner. You know, I'm eating salmon, a little nacho salmon cake, but and some mashed potatoes.
Nah, it's good. It's good.
Got a lot of talk back.
I heard your TV.
What you got? What you got on this conversation, D? Give us your top five. He said,
Top five, huh?
Top five, bro.
You don't want to talk
I
about it.
want I
You
want
don't want to
top
talk
five
about it.
females and I want top five males. Any sport, all around athlete. In it, this is the criteria. It can be from any sport. They got to be an all around athlete. It don't matter if they play one sport or multiple sport, and you can't put yourself in the top five.
Man, people. I mean, people that I like know. I mean,
Mountain View High School,
boy,
come on.
it's really tough, man. Mount View, we had a lot of a lot of cats that came through, man. I mean, all around sports athletes, period. Just like, I mean, if you take it one sport, you got to go with Jerome as like one of the top dogs who's probably should have been in the Hall of Fame already down in
that's for sure.
McDowell. Uh, and if I go sports, I mean girls. If I go girls, I'm thinking about like Mona, Steph McDaniel, Ronetta Harrison, Keisha Ingram. I mean, you talking about some girls that could play some ball back in the day. Jennifer Douglas, uh, man, it's quite a bit. Then guys, I mean, I'm thinking about like Blacktop, rest his soul. Probably Fadrell Jermaine. Um, goodness gracious.
Hey, them
I
five
mean,
drills, that whole family's an
Tough, hey,
athlete.
it's tough. Tough.
uh, I mean,
Yeah, yup, boy. Like Kenyatta,
Kenyatta was
boy.
really good
God,
at football. I mean, but you looking at like, golly, it's just so many. It's so many. I mean, T played all around. I mean, he was a baseball, football, and basketball guy. Starkey was all three. I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
shit, you was all three
You,
D.
t-
You know, the only the only thing that we the only thing that we are lacking from when we play ball are state championships. You know what I mean? And that's
yeah.
it. Other than that, we had players all the way around.
What
Pepe,
D man? So I don't mean to cut you off, but since I got you on here, how do you feel
yeah.
about the McDowell County Hall of Fame and everything?
My thing is I don't know a whole lot about the older history, like records and stuff like that, and they don't have anybody that's young on the board, and I think that's the reason why a lot of us are missing the mark. You know what I'm saying?
Was
God
Gary
rest his
Dove
soul.
a
They had
part of
Gary
that?
Dove, who 75 years old, right? I and I'm not sure who all the other older people that are much older than us, and that's what they're looking at. They're looking at that history right there, and not thinking about when Mount View formed, or uh, I mean, and stuff like that. And so it's nothing you can really do unless you get somebody that's our age on the board.
Well, rumor has
Or,
it that
or, or check this
Jennifer's on
out.
the board. Rumor has it that Jennifer Douglas is on the board.
Hey, so check this out too, though.
So
D, you said
things might
Gary
change.
Dove was on the board, right? So Gary Dove was a sports writer for Bluefield Daily News. I feel like Dan Stillwell probably should have been on the board because he's seen athletes from the 50s all the way to the 2000s writing for Welch Daily News, right?
Old
He
man
should have
shit.
been on the board because he knows about every athlete that came through that area. And then, like you saying, they would get some younger people on the board. But if Jennifer Douglas is on there, how much does her word weigh in those meetings though? You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I told y'all before, it's the Lions Club that's in control of it. You know, it's the Lions Club. It's the Lions Club Hall of Fame. They're the ones in control of who's in it. Like, say for instance, we could if we had our own money, we could start our own like Hall of Fame club.
Kaya,
It's
be
like the
sure to
Lions.
shut your door, baby.
So it's kind of like it's not like the official like Hall of Fame for McDowell County. Like, oh, McDowell County got this together. It's just the Lions Club doing a Hall of Fame thing. It's not like, oh, McDowell County said, okay, let's get a Hall of Fame together. It's not like that. It's just the Lions Club just make it a Hall of Fame. That's it. And
Hey,
I mean, if I'm
it
being
a lot of
completely
people
honest, I
off.
think Coach Riley does what he can as far as nominating people of our tone color, our because he's the one who put the nominations in for like Norfolk, and then you got of course Gary Dove who was here at that time, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't Dan Stillwell pass away as well? So
Oh dang.
I don't know.
I'm not for sure if he did or
and
not. I mean, the last Hall of Fame induction was like last, I think it was last month. The dad was in it, and it's a lot of diversity was in it, man. Like, it was black, white, what I'm saying, like people I had never heard of before that got into it. And I'm like, like there was people that I had heard of before that talked, and I'm like, man, I can't believe you talking like that. Like, it's up and down, man. But like you said before, we want to get some other people in there that we know that are really good, that need to be in there. And if we're talking about it, we need to start nominating them if we want to get them done through the Lions Club. We just gotta, hit some people up. I know who to hit up, to try to get some nominations. I know how to take care of that.
Hey, let me get a shameless plug for my sponsors, Matty Lee Southern Smokehouse, and Steph Matt. I want to interview with you too as well. So I'm calling you out because you are a patch legend in my eyes as well. Your name come up in more halls that you ain't been in. So holla at your boy, Steph. So
I think the biggest thing that we all can do right now is try and support whatever athlete that we have that comes out of Mount View. I mean, I'm really disappointed in the way how they ran Will King off. Um, I'm disappointed how they ran Maurice off. I'm disappointed in how things went with Larry. There's a lot of things that go on, and it's unfortunate the way. Uh, this is a different subject. I'm sorry.
no, you good, you good. It
And I know
ties
you
right
guys
in.
were
Go
talking
ahead.
about that earlier. I know you guys was talking about that earlier, but we were at the pool and I couldn't really get on. But nonetheless, um, I hear and see everything. You know what I mean? And I know there are people that are behind the scenes that sabotage. And the way the Board of Education does their hiring of football coaches is just not right. Like where I'm at, and probably where Chris is at, and where T is at, I'm not sure. You're not getting on the football staff unless the head coach say you can get on the football staff. Point blank.
That's
Period.
right.
Right.
I don't
That's
care
right.
who say what. If the head coach say you can't coach with him, you ain't getting on the
Yeah.
staff.
Getting
But
on
the thing
staff.
is, I agree with you on that, D
So
man. And we always know it's something going on behind the scenes. But how long you gonna continue to let something goes on behind the scene before you're gonna stand up and say something? Hey, I'm that revolutionary fighter. Cause I don't like to stand back and watch people just get taken advantage of. Let's use Will King as an example. I called that man from here in Arizona trying to find out when Keyshawn was playing, and he good coach, everything was real nice to me. Called back to find out something else, and the man gone. Why? Because the people don't like him? Did he do a bad job? He didn't win the game? Why did they fire him? Somebody else wanted his job? We can't continue to stand back and keep it to ourselves.
head clear.
I didn't know he got fired. I thought he resigned.
or whatever the case may be. I could be wrong.
I thought he was on.
Now you talking
Well,
about the
This
last
is
coach?
back
I
then.
think he resigned. I think he resigned.
Oh, okay.
Will resign because it's an uphill battle when you got people that the board hires that are behind his back sabotaging everything that he tries to do. Meaning, let's just look at it like this. When Will was first made the interim head coach, when Maurice stepped away, that person that sabotaged the shit went to the board and was like, hey, this guy doesn't have his credentials. Why is he getting to be the interim head coach? So Will had to step away then to get update his coaching card, right? Nobody knows about that stuff unless somebody's telling. So this same person who's in there and telling stuff is the one who wants to be the head coach. And he didn't even play football in high school.
Who is the person telling? See, this is I don't do this same because that's like me trying to coach football. No, they don't. It ain't
Oh
gonna
Right,
work.
you
man.
looking at Ryan Harmon, Tate Duggan, whatever his name is. They were both snitching on Maurice, right? I mean, come on. And they got Maurice fired over some BS that happened in the locker room when it wasn't even really about that much. And Will didn't want to put up with that no more. He drive 30 minutes to work from Princeton to Mount View.
What up?
Come on. So,
Spill
you
it.
know,
Yeah, go ahead. What's
Spill
up?
it, man. Spill it, bro. Cause this is the thing. Like I was talking about when
All right,
when
come
Doogie
on.
passed away. You know, like a lot of
I'm in the
people ain't
back.
saying too
All right.
much, man. I ain't had no choice but to say something. But if you're gonna say something, if we don't say nothing right now, then the fact of the matter is, what are we talking about? We just dancing around this shit. You know, like keep it real and just be
what you
honest with
mean?
it and get it out of the way.
Say something like what though? I said Ryan. I said Ryan Harmon.
Mm.
I said his name. Yeah,
Woo.
I mean, I said Tate Dungeon or Dungan or whatever his name is.
But
His, you know,
And I don't even know none of those names at all.
but
Like I've
I
never
don't
heard of
yo,
either.
those guys.
you know Ryan Harmon. You know
I
Ryan
know Ryan
Harmon.
Yeah,
Harmon.
I know
That's
who he
it.
is.
But
He
them
ain't play
other
no. He
ones,
didn't play no football, bro. He ain't play no football. He don't know about no football, no X's and O's.
But that's what I'm saying. And,
for
until we
40
start
and 8
putting the
midget league,
yeah midget league. That's where I know Ron Harmon from. If
midget league.
until we start putting them names out there and start telling the people who is doing what, so we'll know who to look out for. We're always gonna continue to get back door. We're always gonna continue to be pushed out of places that we rightfully should be. We have to stand together. It's about us standing together. We got to make sure that them coaches get the support that they need. That's coming from the parents, the kids, and former athletes and former students. That's the way I see it.
And it's also, it's a tough rodeo, man, because you have to deal with parents these days that really don't know what it takes to get to the next level. And they automatically, if they don't see their kid out there on the field, there's a problem with the coach. But, in all reality, you ain't got but maybe one or two people that might be working extra down in Mount View. And
Hey,
that's
hey,
that's
hey.
a hard
So,
that's a
so
hard
D, I
battle.
want to hit on what you just said, bro. I don't mean to cut you off, but when I came in and coached with Leon, it was still some of the former coaches there that coached us, right? So when I would say something in the locker room, it would be like, "Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about." But then it would be parents coming in that locker room and talking about why is my kid not playing? And I thought to myself, like, they should not have access to this locker room about anything about the game right now. Leon had his hands tied the whole time I was there, and it was insightful for me. I cussed a few people out at that time, and I walked away from coaching there. But D, like you saying, yeah, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't really see. But they got to do something. If they don't do
I'm
something,
coming
they're
in
going to
5 minutes.
become nothing, and our legacy is going to go away for sure because they're going to close the school down because they're not even going to have enough, or they're going to have to combine them with Jaeger, Big Creek, and the other schools to even have enough students to have a high school in McDowell County.
As somebody say, it's all politics. Somebody told me it's the Douglas mortuaries behind everything. But we're not gonna point fingers right now. I want to get back to celebrating Starkey and T. Cause y'all, this is why I do this. Cause they're not gonna give us our just due. If I can do my little part to give you your just due, I'd rather give you your flowers while you living, while you alive. Where you know, hey, Keg might not play sports, but Keg respected me and gave me my flowers. This is about y'all today, and I want to say. Welcome to the Patch Legends Hall of Fame, if that's what you want to call it, because y'all part of my Hall of Fame, plain and simple.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you,
Facts.
man.
Hey, hey, Starkey, I'm trying to figure out where in the world T get all that film he put on Facebook the other day because I can't
You
find none of
like that,
our
don't
film,
you? You
bro.
like that, don't you?
Listen, hey, check this out. This is a funny story for you, D. Listen, so my son came to me, right? He was like, Dad, I heard people say you were good at football, you played football, you did this. He said, I ain't never seen no film. Bruh, it took me so much time to hunt down some YouTube film just to show that young man some game. But I found the Graham game and the Bluefield game on YouTube, D. And David posted one of those up and Gerald posted the other one. But that's the great thing about today. You know, you got so much social media, and everybody has a phone and can put film out there, right? So those things are great right now. I just
Got the
wish
two
that
dresses.
like those newspapers would archive some of that stuff from our time, so we could digitize it and be able to have some of those articles. And then if we could find those VCR tapes, we can move it over to digital copies, and so we could share those around. But I asked Scott Nystrom probably about 4 or 5 months ago about some of them tapes his dad had, and he said that David and somebody else had a lot of those tapes. So we just got to hunt around D and try to get some of them and get them on some digital media now instead of that VCR tape.
Yeah. Let me make a correction. Steph Max says she didn't say they were behind everything. They were just behind Jennifer getting into the Hall of Fame. Because Jennifer Douglas is she's in the McDowell County Hall of Fame. I corrected it for you, Steph. No problem. So that's
Uh,
it. I don't want to take up much
I
more of
tell you
y'all
what,
time. We've been on here 2 hours, y'all.
that's what's up though.
Yeah. So I'm about to
I
get
wish
off of
Yeah, it's
here.
all good.
D man, you on the hit
God rest my
list?
man, Coach Page soul, man. But I wish I would have been able to get a hold of them videos from when I played, so I could show some of them 3 pointers. You
Yeah.
know, my son, he never picked up a basketball, so but it's all good. He's a football guy, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starkey, yo,
Yeah.
Starkey,
Yo.
yo, yo. Why I got that '94 Logan game.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
what?
shit.
Who
Yo,
got
I
a
got
Man, you got to
'94
start
Logan
sharing,
game?
bruh. You
I got
You
definitely
the
got
got
that
to
game.
on a
share.
CD?
Yeah, I transferred him over from VCR to CD. My man Phil Hall, you need to holler at, boy. Philip Hall had all the joints, dog. Look, I got that 90. Hold on, that's that 96 game right there. I got a 95. Look, I got the 95 Mountain View, Greenbrier, Mountain View Pike View, Mountain View Logan.
Yeah,
What
you
is
got to
that?
share some of
Oh,
Football
them,
look.
team?
dude.
Hold on, what else I got? What else I got here? Hold on. Yo, I got the 95. I got your 95 season started.
Yeah, I need some of them.
Yeah,
I
we
don't think
need
my
that. T. We
95 year
need
was
that.
my best year, though. I think 94, I had a better year. 95, I was just floating along, playing defense everywhere.
Yeah, got the 94 season right. Hold on, I got all kinds of this. Yeah, Philip hooked me up, man. He gave me all the games, all the VCR joints. He converted them over to CD for me. That's why I got those. That's why I got all those highlights. I can put them up anytime I want to.
Yeah, so what you should do is tell Philip to start burning some of them things and sell them up. Like he can make him a few bucks for sure, getting those games out to us, because he got to buy the CDs to make the copies anyway.
Yeah, yeah, man. I got these joints right here, man. Got these. I got them right now.
Yeah. Sorry about that, but old man bladder.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, but D man, when I'm gonna get that interview with you, this don't count.
I heard that. This is the last. This is the. This is the last week of volleyball, and then when I get back, I'll be doing off
In
season
summer
coaching
practice.
with football and off season coaching with basketball. But I mean, I'm pretty much free. I'm pretty much free in the evenings, though.
Y'all say what's up to Gerald Long. He watching.
Ace,
What
what
up? What
up,
J
up?
bruh?
Long,
What's up?
Ace.
Gerald Long, we want to interview with you too. So you a patch legend. But
No
yo, I
doubt.
want to
No
close
doubt.
this out.
Show me about the route tree.
That's what we should do.
Yeah, I want to close this out. Again, I appreciate y'all for being on. You know, I'm still trying to get Peppy. Peppy was busy with his daughter and everything. Love to get Gerald on. Love to get a whole bunch of former sports stars, because the more attention I believe that we bring to this about our skin folks not being in the McDowell County Hall of Fame or not being recognized for the contributions that we have made as a people, as students, of everything that you want to say, we need to bring attention to that, and that's the only way it's going to happen. We got to bring attention to that. So if y'all willing, I don't. I got my own platform. I control it all. The only word you can't say is the N word. So we can do it. So what y'all want to do? Again, Starkey T, I appreciate it. D man, Putt, thank you guys. So
No doubt, man.
Thank you, Lou, for
Thank you
having
for
me
having us,
on,
man.
man.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey,
I just
love
want
and
to say
respect to all you
one
brothers,
thing to all
man.
y'all,
Y'all
man. I
be
love
easy. Happy
y'all,
Father's
all
Day
y'all,
to
my
you.
brothers, bro.
oh yeah,
We've been
all
through
of
a lot of things
together.
amongst these people that's sharing the screen today. I love all y'all, like my brothers, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
love
y'all.
y'all.
Love y'all.
All right, we're gonna get with y'all.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Yep,
Father's Day. I
same to
love
y'all,
y'all, each and
man.
every one of y'all. God bless, man. Keep
All right.
on keeping on, y'all.